Really kind of incredible how people connect when you're talking on the radio.
And when the message hits, the response is immediate.
Well, 1440 was amazing to go to. We weren't expecting the response quite as suddenly as it was, but we literally had guys that came in and said, hey, we just heard you on 1440 and we want to see about getting our garage redone.
That's the kind of audience you reach on Sports 1440.
Just working with a marketing team like they have here at Stingray. And for us, it's just been invaluable.
Visit sports1440.ca to learn more about advertising with Stingray Radio.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen, as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440. Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
Picked up by Hicks. Here's the stop of it. And McDavid's got a break. McDavid scores. A silencer here for Connor McDavid.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
The guts tested on a night like this. Here's the Polson. Across, Draisaitl. Saucer. There's a shot. He's won the game. It's the series. Very captain in overtime.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Draisaitl takes over. Right back to the Captain. The move to the inside. Stick on that. Across the course for McDavid. Leo Draisaitl. Forever McDavid. Draisaitl from McDavid.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 648 Monday, April the 20th. Hey, it's game day. The Stanley Cup playoffs are finally here, man. The town is going to be jumping all day today, all the way up to a late 8:20 puck drop down at Rogers Place. Game number 1, Anaheim and the Oilers. Just can't wait. Hope the day just screams by. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 on your AM radio dial on your morning drive. Wherever you're heading out on a Monday morning. So glad you could spend some time with us. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. Finally some weather, and people were outside and enjoying it. You could see everyone out and about for sure. You can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. And as always, we are streaming on the many, many services that are out there. On iHeart, the TuneIn app, sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of any show, it turns into the many podcasts that are out there as well. All you have to do is search them on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Just subscribe. It's free again. Select the auto download. You'll never miss any part of any show. Yeah, so glad you could spend some time with us here on a Monday morning as the Anaheim Ducks roll into town for game number 1 of this Stanley Cup first round playoff. Was down at Rogers yesterday for the practice, and the Oilers sported up a full lineup up front. And that meant that Jason Dickinson was centering the third line, and Leon Draisaitl was centering the second line. Looked good. Dickinson looked good. They have to be cleared yet from the doctors, but it would blow me away if they both weren't in the lineup tonight. So, hey, let's welcome in our co-host on Mondays and Fridays, Grey Cup champion Eddie Steele from 2015, all-decade team of the Double E, all-century team in U Sports history. Good morning, Eddie.
KK, it's
Yes.
all universe.
Oh,
Forget century. That's not big enough. How are you, man?
you know, I added that. I thought we would get away. Now you're going outside the realm of the space concept here now,
I
too.
love it, KK. It's so funny, man.
Anyway, did you have a
Makes
good
me
weekend,
laugh.
Eddie?
Yeah, really good weekend.
Good.
Playoffs, baby. Playoffs.
Playoffs, yeah. And there were some great games, on the weekend. To see, Montreal beat Tampa Bay in overtime. Yuri Slafkovsky with 3 goals, including the overtime winner, all power play goals. To see the atmosphere in Buffalo. I mean, inside, outside. Well, first of all, inside. I don't know how much you caught of the Buffalo-Boston game. But inside, Boston took everyone out of the game. The Bruins took the fans, the players, everyone out of the game. But when they scored that first goal, oh boy.
What a third period.
I mean, and outside, like even the lead up, did you see that those guys having fun with that Boston Bruin, like the dummy, the mannequin? Like they had him in the middle of the street kind of thing.
It's like a Bills Mafia.
They were just pounding the snot out of this thing and taking their way with it. Oh,
what it reminded me of, honestly, is when the Jets first came back to Winnipeg.
Fair.
In I think it was 2011, and then they made the playoffs. Their first time making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
How insane that city was! They had the whiteout and everything going, but they were one of the first teams to really get that outdoor party going. Was Winnipeg back in the day? Now we'll say about 10 years ago, and it's cool to see how other organizations jump on board. And
none better than here.
Oh,
none better. And then when you saw in Buffalo, and you know what impressed me? There was one thing, and I think it was on the Samuelson 3-2 goal. I'm not 100% sure because was matching up the video. But the fans that were outside, they had one of those barricade steel railing barriers. And the fans were going, there were so many fans, they were going bananas. And this barrier toppled over, Eddie. So it just toppled over. Now, you think about all the concerts and when things are getting wacky and crazy. So many times, the fans would just kind of steamroll over that barrier.
The crowd surge.
Yeah. It's perfect. That's the word I was looking for. But they were helping put the barrier back up. The security came in and and then other guys are trying to lift it back. And I was like, okay, so that's the coolest fans. That's the cool.
Good. That's the good ones.
Yeah. So, anyway, the atmosphere simply remarkable. So, text 833-401-1440 already. Rowdy, you got to pick up that bottle of whiskey too, big guy. Oilers crushed the Ducks tonight. I know I haven't been on in a while. Busy. Got to get new knees starting right away. I'll pick my jugs up quick. Meet you guys. Ingram will be the difference.
Speaking of knees, man.
What, your knees? Sorry?
Oh, KK. That's why I'm dressed like this. I can't go work after. Man, I think I had my official last run of my life, fellas. The official last jog attempt of my life.
Oh, come on.
Man, so I got back from Mexico, KK, and it was about 6 weeks ago. Did a run, and I've been declining, man, going downhill, man. The knees have been sore. They've been jacked up, the hips, a lot of wear and tear on the body.
Sure. Well,
so I did a run when we first got back from Mexico, and it put me down for like a week. My knee was really sore, and I vowed to Stephanie I would never do it again, and I tried it yesterday. Just had to try it, we're men. We got
should have ran on the beach when you were
tickle
down
the
there,
ego
Eddie.
a little bit. I'm done. I can't run anymore. I'm officially retired from jogging, I think, Kevin.
Wow, you're carrying some serious weight, big guy.
Whoa.
Come on now. That's a lot of stress on those joints.
It is. A lot of wear and tear. This body's
I would imagine you're like a Clydesdale too. I would imagine you don't have that galloping, that gazelle.
No, it's not light.
Stride.
It's certainly not light. And the feet are certainly flat.
Well, this is why you're probably having problems.
Hurting. But I wear orthotics. Played with orthotics, but body's hurting, man. Do your knees hurt when you run?
Yes.
You run on concrete.
Yeah.
Oof. I think about you.
But, well, I know I put on a few LBs over the winter, but I know the first few runs are not going to be easy. But got to get back to summer shape. Tarps off in the neighborhood, Eddie.
Envious. Done.
Anyway, really, I think everyone's really looking forward to this game number 1, and we've mentioned it many times in the last, Well, specifically when we knew that the Oilers were going to draw the Ducks. And, play their game. You got to play your own style, initiate, dictate, do the things that you have been, like what's got you to be successful defensively here, where they've given up, like I say, not too many goals, per game here in the last few weeks. Do that, play that style of game, and they'll be fine. But, I mean, Anaheim's a dangerous team too here, though. So don't take this opponent lightly. You see Montreal. Montreal's a great example. So they go in, and Tampa's like the Oilers. They're battle tested. They're experienced. They're won.
Expected.
Exactly. And Montreal goes in with these younger guys, and they're fast, they're quick. It's similar to what Anaheim has. I was surprised like Tampa didn't really push Montreal around. Like they did a little bit, but I thought that they were going to really.
Montreal brought some of that fight to them too.
But
Montreal did.
That's the key for Tampa in this series. It's a key. Like last year, what happened with Montreal and Washington? Capitals pushed them around. They bullied them around.
Got to swing first, always. Swing first and swing often. So, KK, I want to ask you, just outside of the obvious, top 2 keys to success for the Oil in this series.
Well, and again, so it's dictate your own play, dictate the style and how you want to. Like they've got enough scoring. Everyone knows that the Oilers have enough scoring that they can be in any game and they can get back in any game. If they're down a couple of goals, it's not like it used to be either. Like if you were down a couple of goals in the playoffs, it was done.
Totally.
Like Boston years ago, that game, it's 2-0 Bruins. That game's done.
Yeah.
It's over. So I don't think anyone has to be concerned about what the Oilers can bring offensively, but it's the defense. It's getting the pucks out quick, getting them up to your forwards. Don't play in your own end. Have that seamless part of your game where you're transitioning the puck out of your own end to the next wave that's going to be going up the ice. That's so critical for this team. And then for me, I just want to see Connor Ingram continue to play the way he's been playing down the stretch here. He plays like that, like he's been playing. This team is dangerous.
And that should happen if the first thing happens that you said.
Well, exactly.
You're right.
But,
one follows the other usually.
You don't want to have a goal that goes in that we've seen.
It's going to that's going to happen though. Yeah. You're going to have a goal that goes in, a stinker or two. Does he fold or does he bounce back? And he's proven thus far to bounce back.
So, I like it. Like there's going to be times where you're going to, you can't let another one in. You just can't. Like, I'm not coming down on Stu Skinner here, but if you watch the game, game number 1 against Philadelphia, it's 2-1 at that point, and you can't let another one in. That's a rocket of a shot by Porter Martone.
Yeah.
It's right under the bar. It's an amazing shot.
It is.
But that somehow you just got to be able to stop that.
That one hurt. You're right. Seeing that.
Like I I was watching the final of the 72 Summit Series documentary. Paul Henderson says to Ken Dryden when it's 5-3 after 40 minutes for Russia in Game 8, Kenny, can't let any more in. And, that's, we can get 3. Might not be able to get 4. 7:12 in Edmonton. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne. The Duke and I were at a hockey draft. Duke was the auctioneer with the big babber.
What did he do?
And Duke was very good, very proficient.
Come on, let me get 100, 10,000.
Yeah, that was the going rate for the players too, Eddie. Could you believe it? 5 figures.
So Duke obviously drafted all Ducks because he was auctioning the other players and bidding on for his own team.
Which was difficult, admittedly. Because last year, Kevin, if you recall, when we were teammates, co-managers of a team,
Dylan Holloway,
which was nearly the undoing of this entire program, the strife that became of that draft.
I'll take Dylan Holloway, $10.
Dylan Holloway, great buy. It was a risk reward play. Turned out to be more risk than reward. But as we're sitting there and kind of looking down as each box gets announced, kind of doing some game planning and saying, all right, do we maybe want to go after this guy? Or we hash out a strategy. I didn't know I was drafting a team until I got there.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I didn't have a lot of time to plan. So it was basically once a name came up, I thought, yeah, I'll maybe go in on this. And at a certain point, I kind of just commit. I was like, well, I guess I'm going to try and buy as many Ducks as I can and hope that they can pull off the upset here in round number 1. That's sometimes you just got to lay it out there. And I mean, Connor McDavid, the budget's $100.
Yeah.
McDavid sold for 90.
Ooh, I was just
Leon went for 75, I think,
something like that. Yeah. So it was a very fun afternoon. Very fun.
Where was it at?
Boston Pizza.
Cool.
Roger down on Calgary Trail.
Nice.
Known Roger for a long time. Roger Berder.
And my invite got lost in the mail, obviously.
Well,
Darn
Eddie-
Canada Post.
Eddie, sorry, you couldn't hang. You couldn't hang here.
Ooh.
This is a room full of 40 to
Savages.
50 real savage puck
Shots
puck
fired.
fiends.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I couldn't hang.
Eddie, I should have brought you as my bidder. Like you could have bought my team for me.
Oh, just the token bidder. Yeah.
The other good thing about the weekend, and right now, today it's going to be beautiful. Golf season's here in Edmonton. Golf season is here. Tomorrow, the Ranch Golf and Country Club will be opening up tomorrow.
Oh, so you're off because you said way later, didn't you? In the pool?
Yeah,
I believe you
thought-
said
I
way
thought-
later.
Well, here's the rub too, Eddie. I mean, like Wednesday, Thursday's not the best around. So I think a couple courses might open today and tomorrow, and then we'll
Get
see
a little
what
biz
happens.
and
We'll
then close
see.
down. Keep the range open only.
Yeah, we'll see. So the Ranch Golf and Country Club opens tomorrow. Mill Woods is open already. We talked about Montgomery Glen on Friday, opening up yesterday as well. Raven Crest and Red Tail opening up today. So if you are a golf pro or running a golf course in town, send me a shout and we'll get the fact that your course is going to be open. And again, so I'm looking forward to our first death match at the Ranch with Murray McCourt, Sean Piercy, and the Wiz, Adam Whizzer, will be this Sunday. And might have to hit the range here, Eddie, just to get those guys have been playing all.
Oh, they're
all
going to
winter.
beat you to death.
Oh, it's not even close. But the first round, you never, if you can get off to a good start.
Do you have the itch to try and get out to one of these open courses here in the next day or so with this beautiful weather?
Well, I thought about
Duke's the kind of guy that would get out for sure.
You couldn't say it better, Eddie. I was sitting on the couch all day yesterday, did not leave the apartment. I went and played after this draft on Saturday, went over to Chucky Slicks out east of Sherwood Park and played at the Sim. Because I'm just jonesing so bad. So he'd sent me a text. I was like, wow, read my mind. So we got one more round in a virtual golf. And I was texting some of my buddies down in Delburne that are normally in the know. They're big golfers saying, what's the scuttle down there? When are some of the tracks in your guys' neck of the wood opening? Because I'm just chomping at the bit to get out and, touch some grass.
Brad takes in, let the fun begin tonight at Rogers Place. I'm thinking like Lucas, like for the heckling, he says for the stall. And he also says he wants to get the Ingy thing going for, because, they always had some other, there was this too. And they were
it's going to be hyped up, man. Playoffs.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Fun. Can't wait. Coming up on the big program, and should mention, hey, MTR is going to be, I don't know if he's going to be excited. It just came down, Adam Schefter reporting that Trent Williams, 12-time Pro Bowler, Trent Williams, and the Niners have reached agreement on a 2-year, $50 million extension.
He's getting his money.
He's getting a lot of cash.
Yes, he is.
So 2-year, $50 million extension for Trent Williams, the Pro Bowl left tackle, 12-time Pro Bowl. He's not a young man anymore.
No, he's not. He's really good, but you'd be a liar if you said his play wasn't declining lately.
And then I'm looking here. Yeah. And Schefter comes in and says, in 2020, the 49ers traded a 3rd and a 5th to Washington for Williams.
Yeah. And he was coming off of the cancer.
Yeah.
But I remember he came into the league in the NFL right about the same time I came out of college. And I followed his career pretty closely, man. This dude is first ballot walking into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Instant.
Coming up on the big program, Alan Mitchell will check in, our regular Monday morning leadoff man from the Lowdown with Low Tide. Mark Spector in his 8 o'clock slot. Spec was he was a little grouchy yesterday because he had to come down to the rink in his suit on a Sunday because he had to do a hit for Sportsnet.
Yeah. They made him wear a suit today. I gotta go work.
When I did a one-on-one with Colton Doc, so we'll run that over the course of the morning at some point. A really good conversation. He's a local guy. He's been, he played at OHA. So, he's Fort Saskatchewan, played at OHA from minor hockey, went to like the academy school. I think on that OHA team, there's probably 5 or 6 guys that have made it to the NHL.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Owen Zellweger.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Carson Coolemans. That's just off the top of my head. I'm going to have to check.
Good program.
But yeah. Well, all these guys are so good, man. John Aaylor, Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man, will be with us at the 9:20. Another edition of Cam and Eggs. And then Kelly Buckberger he'll check in. Kelly Buckberger will be with us at 10:20. He was at the Toast of the Town on Friday, and we had a lot of fun. I can't thank the generosity of the people in that room. So this is just it's a dinner, and people step up.
It's Edmonton.
But I've done and been in many dinners. Okay, if you can pull in a couple $100,000 or something like that,
a win.
It's massive. 650 grand.
Ooh.
650 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
How many?
1,000 people there?
No, like 350.
Oh,
maybe.
wow.
Like Dennis Mozak from Synergy was a presenting sponsor. Right off the hop, he comes up and he says, "I'm gonna throw $100,000 down."
That's Dennis from the tournament.
Which tournament?
Your tournament?
No.
Who is your tournament? The golf tournament.
Yeah, well, Terry O'Flynn is presenting. That's Prism Flow.
No, who had the big bid?
Oh no, that's Mitch.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mitch.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I got the names mixed up. Yeah.
From Nisku. The guys in Nisku. Yeah, they did $50,000 for that. I mean, unbelievable. So the generosity is just amazing. So we're a little late getting to Tide here. So when we come back, Alan Mitchell, the lowdown with Low Tide on the Kevin Carey Show with Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
As we all try to figure out when winter will actually stop and spring will finally be here for the season, GS Construction moves ahead with their plans for the year. From planning and digging to laying out underground infrastructure, construction season is limited, so we make every day count. And that's why GS Construction counts on our team to get the job done right. Crews are getting back in action across the city, and we'd like you to join us. We're looking for experienced top men, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Greger brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays, 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action. Edmonton sports leader, Sports 1440.
It's here. The Ford, it's a big not yet. The Ford, it's a big deal. Oh, guys, just wait. The Ford, it's a big deal event is on. Really? Now. Hurry in to lease a 2026 F-150 STX with black appearance package from $237 bi-weekly at 0% APR for 36 months with $54.90 down. That's like $119 a week. The Ford, it's a big deal event. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 722 in Edmonton. Kevin Carey, Eddie Steele with you. Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick here on Sports 1440 AM Radio. Time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And at Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing, and it is your vehicle. From tires and wheels to oil changes and vehicle repairs, we have you covered. Visit fountaintire.com to book your appointment today as we welcome in the host of The Lowdown, Alan Mitchell, right here on Sports 1440, noon to 2 daily. Good morning, Tide. Are you fired up? for the Stanley Cup playoffs, big guy?
Well, the last couple of days have been very interesting. This hockey is so good, and you get it's funny. Even if you're playing well, you get exposed. I really, I've been a Bruins fan since '04. I really did not trust this Bruins team unless they got great goaltending to go far. And they were, I think it was 8 minutes left, and they were, home and dry. And then Buffalo, after waiting 400 years for a playoff game, they come storming back, and that was an electric atmosphere. I'm very happy for Buffalo fans. They deserve this, and I hope they enjoyed that game because it was a thriller.
Go ahead, Eddie.
It was a thriller, especially that third period. But fellas, this is something that we haven't even talked about yet, KK. What about 6-1 drubbing Minnesota at Dallas? Is that fluke or is that real?
I wouldn't say it's fluke. Minnesota's got a hell of a team. I don't think we're going to see another 6-1 game, though. I'll tell you that.
I would agree, but that was a beating.
Yeah, they just piled on.
Well, you never know. When teams match up like this, this is for real. And maybe there's an injury here or there. But 6-1, Dallas has had, a lot of promise the last few years and haven't been able to get to the final. They could react and go 6-1 the other way. They're that good. But Minnesota, man, it's hard to find a weakness on that team, and their defense and goaltending is strong. That's the kind of team that might be able to get out of that division, maybe unscathed. And you want to what all these teams are looking for is a really quick series. Edmonton doesn't matter what team you want to go 4-0 so that you're ready for the next round, and you can get to for Edmonton. I think the Pacific isn't really the difficult path of the final. It'll be that semifinal against the Central team. That'll be the tough one.
Mm-hmm. So I was down at Oilers practice yesterday, tied, and I was excited to see how Leon Draisaitl was skating, and even more excited to see, I think, Jason Dickinson skating as well as he skated before the injury. So I would be stunned and shocked if those two guys aren't playing tonight. And these lines, I've been saying this, I love the way the lines are set up now with Dickinson, RNH, and Roslovic on that third line because they get incredible matchups. And Leon just loves playing with Podkolzin and Kapanen. Kapanen's the key here for me. I don't know where you're looking at in this, say, the top 9, but let's touch on what you make of the makeup of the lines here, Tide.
Well, it broke really well for the Oilers and for Chris Knobloch. First, you have to count on Matt Savoy being able to play well enough on the top line to keep him there, and he has. And he's a really good two-way player. Mm-hmm. He helps that line. The second line, I will go so far as to say that Kasperi Kapanen, the key for him is to play on the Draisaitl line because he's very good at that role. He can win pucks. He can cycle. He's aggressive on the forecheck. And when he does make one of those singular moves of his, somebody on that line's there to clean up and maybe score a goal on a rebound. And Podkolzin's been brilliant too. But Draisaitl's always been able to float boats that are not elite necessarily. So if those two lines can hold, then you're right. Like Roslovic is a scorer, and Nuge is a great veteran. And if that line can deliver. The third line is going to play softer minutes. They're going to play opposition that's not the top tier, and then you've got that fourth line that is going to put the boots to somebody. The Oilers' forward lines right now, depending upon how long they stay together, Chris Knobloch tends to shuffle. There's some exciting possibilities there. I don't want to go too far without mentioning Colton Doc, who I think is going to be a secret weapon for this team because he's not only physical and in your face and agitating, but boys, he's been scoring some goals here lately, and that would be huge to get can you imagine a fourth line that can score consistently? The Oilers, that's like, it might as well be 1987 again.
I'll tell you what, Tide. So I did a one-on-one with Colton Doc yesterday, and then I asked Chris Knobloch the question, at the availability about Doc and Frederick. He called them the Bash Brothers, and it doesn't matter who centers them. It's going to start with Henrique. Szymanski might be a guy that goes in there at some point. It doesn't matter. Those two guys, and it's funny. Here's a quick little, when you're doing an interview, and I said this to Colton Doc, and you can see a little gleam in a guy's eye. you get that feeling, that connection. The question was, when you and Freddie are going in on the forecheck, is the puck almost non-negotiable for the first guy in? And, he kind of said the way, and we'll hear it a little bit later in the show. Well, he kind of said, well, we know where the puck is, but, so that's kind of what I was kind of getting at there. So,
well, and in a series, in a long series, and there are likely, it's going to be several of them, that punishing the defenseman, it really is key. I mean, it sounds like, come on now, you're suggesting that the puck isn't important. Of course it is, but we're all human beings, and if you're going back there and the hit's going to happen and it's going to hurt a little bit, then there, you might cough the puck up quicker, and those things do happen, and that's hockey. Hockey is a game of mistakes. I think Henrique is a player who is playing so much better since he came back from injury. I'll be interested. My hope is that we see these lines stay together. I looked at last year's in my athletic article today, and they, some of those lines, they played a little bit in game one against the LA Kings, and they were never heard of again. They had Nugent Hopkins with Skinner, and they Frederick, and they basically played like 3 shifts and they were done. This group has far more promise, I think. And I for me, I'd like to see these lines stay together. I think they're really strong, and I'm especially a fan of Savoy on the top line and that fourth line with Doc and Frederick. And as you said, the center maybe not as important, although we'll find out. I mean, Henrique is healthy now, so he may be able to impact in a different way.
Hey, Low Tide, how confident are you in Connor Ingram to rise and remain in the moment?
Well, he's been the last 10 games, the team is playing better in front of him. Let's start with that. The last 10 games, he has played extremely well. When he got here, the first thing I noticed about him is that he seemed to have really calm feet. He was, he was prepared for pucks. He was, tracking them well, and that has continued. But what has really changed since Paul Coffey got here, and I'll give Connor Murphy a little credit here too, is this, they roll their 3 pairings. The third pairing's maybe a little wobbly, but the top 2 are rock solid, and it's working. They're healthy. Ekholm's healthy too. But Ingram is playing well. I hope Christian Jarry gets a chance and flourishes, because they're going to need both goaltenders. But Ingram is playing exceptionally well right now, and I don't think he has to be the star of the game. I don't think he has to steal a game. Maybe 1 or 2 during the playoffs. But I think Oilers fans should be very confident in Ingram. The last 10 games, I think like a .923 save percentage. It's really strong.
Yeah.
On a personal note, a question for you, Low Tide. You got a bit of a traitor to you. And I know deep down, I've been listening for years to you now, and you got a little bit of love for Radko Gudas. You think he does anything in this series? You think he shows up in any Radko-like ways?
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm a Radko fan because he's like, this is a guy who like crashes glass and eats it for breakfast. Like he is a throwback. Anybody ever want to know what was it like to watch, Tim Horton or Lee Fogelin or any of those really tough guys? Radko Gudas is a throwback. He could have played in 1975, no problem at all. He's filthy. And so I think that's one of the ways Anaheim will try to get the Oilers off their game. They have Truba, they have other players who can do it. But Radko Gudas will be the center of attention. By 9:00 tonight in Edmonton, he will have done something to piss people off.
Yeah, you can believe that. I mean, for sure. But I mean, now the Oilers have some counterability here with Doc and Frederick. Yep. So, I mean, that's, and Darnell Nurse. So they've got some guys, Murphy. They've got some guys that are going to be able to do that. So what do you make of the young guns on this Anaheim team? And man, we've been talking about them, all season long when they've come to town, because they play an exciting brand of hockey, and Seneca and Carlson and everyone else. They've got some really good young talent here.
They do. And I don't think they'll be overwhelmed by the stage, but I think they probably will learn a lot here in the next week or 10 days. And I think one of the one of the things we'll say at the end of this series probably is that they're going to be, along with San Jose, they're going to be a factor in a bigger way this coming season. I think there's Edmonton and Vegas are still in the window to win the Stanley Cup. I think those two are not yet in the window to win the Stanley Cup, but they're pushing. Anaheim's a really talented young team. I think their biggest advantage is they've got a veteran coach who can help them, and that'll be a big factor. But I also think the whistles are put away. The Ducks have to be good in all three disciplines, which is even strength, power play, and penalty kill. I don't think they're quite there yet. So I think they'll score, and I think they'll look spectacular. I just don't think they have enough. You got to have a little bit of experience, and they do behind the bench, and they do have some really good. They got great players. Goaltending's good. They're really, really solid, and they do have some veterans on defense, and they did make a big deal at the deadline. I just think the forward group will play well, but they'll be exposed a little bit as the series goes on in terms of playing that 200-foot game.
Hey, this one's for both of you guys. With the playoffs coming, what's going to be your favorite snack? Because chips and dip aren't cutting it. You going to have some Will Hawk beef jerky tonight for the game, boys? Huh? You two?
No, Tide, you.
It's playoff time. What's going to be the snack now tonight, Tide? What's going to be the playoff snack?
I haven't even thought about it, boys. I don't know. Honest to God, I'm thinking about what I have in the cupboard and the fridge. I've probably got some pretty cool dip, and I might have to get some chippies or something like that. But I like the Mexican style chips, and I like some salsa. That's what I usually go with. But I don't have any of it right now. So
I don't snack at home, Eddie, during the games.
Really?
No, don't snack at home. But,
so you snack at the game in the press box?
So what happens is during the playoffs, the Oilers up their game, and they bring in a candy bar. They bring in, I think they have nachos and cheese.
So it goes above and beyond the pizza and popcorn.
There's pizza for the first period intermission as usual, and there's always popcorn. But
you little piglet, you.
I'm not like, there's guys that stand up there and fill their, it's like they're putting it in their pockets, Tied. You should see it. It's awful.
You know what? I can't see a blasted thing from the press box. I know that. I remember when the building went in, Kate said, "Well, we're not making it comfortable for the media. We want all the fan sight lines to be great." It is a very difficult place to see the hockey game, and the only thing I care about is the hockey game. Yeah. The food's nice and all that, but I mean, media, we're so spoiled. Oh my God, are we a spoiled bunch? It's like. Yeah. I'll wait till the second period. I'll say this. I'll say this. That if you have been a media person in this town since about 1980, when the Oilers came in, if you're bitching and moaning about food that's presented to you, then you really have to give your head a shake.
I remember when I was doing the games tied from 2003 to 2010. There was a game in Dallas. Now I can't remember the reporter, but he was in front of me, and it was before the game. And it used to be a free meal, but now you got to pay. But it was a free meal, but it was in Dallas, and it was beef stew. And I'm not kidding, it was beef stew, and that was the meal. And you had bread and salad and everything. Of course. Anyway, the guy in front of me goes, "Man, this beef stew is making my eyes hurt." And I go, what? Looking for the beef, he says.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Well,
I'm telling you that the game itself should be the appeal. I think it will be. I think it'll be a fun game today.
Yeah. Who's coming up on the big program today? The lowdown at noon.
Well, we have Jason Greger at 1:20, and we'll talk about obviously the games that have happened and the big game tonight, Everton and Anaheim. And Rachel Krychak will join us at 1:40 today. Wow. We've changed her time because she's got things to do during the playoffs. So she'll be at 1:40 today and every Monday throughout the postseason. So we'll look forward. We'll talk to her about the Oilers game tonight. Also, about Buffalo. I think that's a great game. A few of the other things that have happened. I don't know if there's going to be any players left from the Mammoth Golden Knights series based on what I saw last night. Holy! I've never seen attempts at decapitation at the regular like I saw in that game. I felt like it was the 1970s again. Wow. some real physical play.
Do you think anything with the Jersey sort of headbutt on Rasmus Anderson, is that going to be looked at?
Probably, but it's the playoffs. Anderson might get a penalty or suspension. It's weird in the playoffs where you look at plays and you're like, that should be 5 games and it'll be a $20 fine. Playoffs are like, you really are putting these are dangerous times for hockey players, unfortunately.
You're trying to sell it too, and the whole bit because you.
Yeah.
So, all right, Tide. Have a good one, big fella. Have a great show, and we'll look forward to your analysis of game number 1 tomorrow as well.
Boys, be good. Thank you.
That's Alan Mitchell. You hear him daily on Sports 1440, 12 to 2, the lowdown. And that's the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, book your appointment at fountaintire.com today. We care about one thing, and it is your vehicle. What are you yawning, Andy? What's going on? No, don't even think. Like
what you mean
he's trying to flex here for our
sun's out, guns out.
For our listeners.
What's
that
the temperature?
Are watching.
What's it like out there? I wonder.
Right
tell
now,
you what, that drive-in was beauty.
I can tell you right now, it's 4 degrees. We're looking at a high of 19, according to Environment Canada. So the Moss Pit Ice District. I mean, usually there's 30,000.
Oh, it's
people
gonna
down.
be, yeah.
Like it, including inside.
inside.
Yeah. So you got 18.5 in there.
They're going to have the 2 outdoor locations open.
So you got both. And I mean, it's just wild down there.
Yeah, it'll be insane.
I mean, I always like when I come in, I don't know what time I'll go down to the game tonight, but you gotta go down early. Because it's just,
oh yeah.
I had a text here too.
You're not a made man. You don't have a parking pass.
No, I'll know. Sam says, good morning, KK. Yesterday around 6 p.m., there's about 30 to 40 cars and trucks done up with Oiler flags and logos going down the white mud. That's yesterday.
It's that time of the year.
Yeah.
Flags out.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:46 in Edmonton, game day in town. 8:20 puck drop, approximately. I would think it's going to be 8:20. I don't see it being sooner. Game one, Ducks and Oilers. The Oilers went 2-1 against the Ducks in the regular season. Looks like everyone's healthy after practice yesterday, and seeing Leon Draisaitl and Jason Dickinson centering lines 2 and 3. Both looked just fine, and both looked very capable of playing tonight. Again, Chris Knobloch said following practice, they need to be cleared by the doctors to make it official. NBA tonight, the Toronto Raptors will try to even their series at 1 in game 2 of their set with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raptors lost game number 1 on Saturday. I actually watched the first half and then some. Raptors were right in it.
They were.
And then Cleveland started to pull away in the third there. But
James Harden.
yeah,
He's a
he's
superstar.
a good player. But I think it showed that the Raptors can play with them for sure.
Oh, for sure. Without a question.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it make a series of it. There isn't anyone picking the Raptors to win this series.
No, but the Raptors, like you say, they can make a series. They're scrappy and they can keep themselves in it. And I think that they can win it, to be honest.
Yeah. Duke's Orlando Magic beat Detroit yesterday, 112-101. So that's an upset in game number 1 of that series. And the Jays finally get some runs right off the hop. Oh boy, that game was over in the first inning. They beat Arizona 10-4. So, I mean, they were just pounding the ball in the
They
first
swept them, huh?
No, that was to avoid a sweep.
Getting swept.
To avoid a sweep. So
Yeesh.
that's bad when you
I haven't even been watching.
Yeah.
it.
I think so. The pitcher for Arizona, Ryan, what's his last name? Duke, I'm missing. Can't remember the guy that started for Arizona. Ryan. He gave up his ERA. His line was 212, like 212. Anyway, that was a tough goal for him there. Do you get excited, Eddie, with the playoffs?
Are you kidding, KK?
Yeah, I know, but
I do get excited. It's
Ryan Nelson. Thanks. Yeah.
Playoffs is just something different. In football, it's interesting because you get so hyped up for the game and your mentality. You can see it with the fellas out there on the ice, the way they're skating around and they're just selling out for everything. The hits, they're literally laying it on the line.
They're laying it on the line.
Are
we going to get the song? Like, are we getting?
I just hope we don't get inundated with the commercial again.
Well,
you think we will?
Oh yeah.
Well, then without a question, you're going to get it from me.
Depends on what song it is.
You'll get it from me for sure.
And then you'll be.
Don't we already know? Isn't it? What is it? Bitter or Symphony? The one I played when Low Tide came.
Eddie Petty, baby.
Yeah, Bittersweet Symphony by Verve. The Verve. Isn't that the theme? The theme here.
You gotta.
It's what played during their Hockey Night in Canada's opener on Saturday. Their little montage that's always gets everybody fired up. They do a great job, but that's what played during that. Seems to play not in and out of maybe every commercial break on the games I was watching yesterday, but vast majority of them. Maybe they learned their lesson from last year where they don't need to quite, burn our eyeballs or in this case, our eardrums out of our head with it every single time.
Ted texts in, did you hear something about needing a pass to get into Ice District? Thought I saw it was free, but you had to sign up to get one. That's correct. So you need to be, it is free. You just got to go to the Oilers website and fill it out and like that.
Get your pass.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't cost you anything, but I think they just want to
keeping tabs.
Yeah, and I mean,
I would think just to make it a little more organized, rather than having 30,000 people all crammed up and
no doubt.
It's like here,
you don't know,
get your pass out.
Yeah, when you don't even know how many people are in there, so it's just a nice head count for sure.
833-401-1440. Jay in Victoria, our buddy Jay. I'm beyond happy. Dickinson. And of course, Leon is in. I just hope the coach plays the third and fourth lines effectively. Set the tone with the fourth line. I wish I was in it. I wish I was in Edmonton for this run, go Oilers, and Pods. Of course, he's a big Pods, big Colson fan.
I can't wait to feel the energy in the building from my TV. You know what I mean? Because you really can.
No,
I mean,
well, you can, but if
not the same, not to the same extent, but you can.
hey,
man, the vast majority of us don't get to be there.
I just like, to me, the very beginning when they come out on the ice, that's the best part for me, because I always keep tabs on the decibel level. Last year, I think it got to 113 or 114. I don't, that was in the final though. So
I can vouch there is no high throughout the course of the game like running out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like that first surge when you come out into the crowd, nothing gets you like fluttery in your chest like that.
Let me ask you this, and I'm not taking a shot at the double E here, but we've seen the last little bit. Eddie, you've seen it too. They're running out of the tunnel, like coming out
into
on
an empty stadium.
No one there.
Yeah.
And
it's
what is a player like?
It's tough.
Is it
it's tough
disappointing?
Yeah, very disheartening, especially for a home game.
That's what I mean.
Very disheartening. Yeah. It's when they were in the real tough stretch of when they get, they'd announce it was 12 to 15,000 at the game, but you and I know it was 8,000. Yeah. Those were hard, man. Coming out and seeing how much checkered empty seats there were. It's flat.
I would imagine, and like even players that
even in the visitor, it's like you look around, it's like
But players that come up from, the colleges and things like that, like maybe for their first time here in the last few years, they must be going, what's going on?
Where are we? Exactly. Coming from a college where on the low end, some of these barns are 50,000 strong.
Yeah.
It's a big difference, but that was then. They are going to be different this year.
Now. Hey, the draft's coming up here, NFL draft. So I guess when we talk to you on Friday, we'll know
how it all shakes down. First round
on Thursday. So I don't know what to expect of this one. I don't know if there's going to be some jockeying for position, if some teams are going to drop back. Some teams maybe want their guy and move up.
Well, over the weekend too, there was the news that broke with the Bengals trading that 10th overall pick.
What do you think of that?
I like that.
For Dexter.
Sexy Dexy.
And he gets 2-year extension or?
Yeah, I got some extra coin.
Like
I think it was a 1 year, but he had deals left. So his contract now, I believe, has 3 years on it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's good for the Bengals. Bold move. They don't make moves like that ever. They're notoriously cheap as a franchise. So to make that out of character move and then extend him, it's two things that they normally don't do. So that's a sign that they're attempting to really try and win, and they need defensive help.
They do, but they still need some help in the defensive backfield still. So now they got a legit guy, up front. Also, I mean, we know that they're going to be able to put up 28 points a game all the time, minimum. We know that.
With that,
can they not give up 24 or whatever?
That's why you need the D help.
But can they keep their quarterback upright here?
Ooh.
So, like, how much more help do they need on the O-line here?
Always looking for O-linemen. Yeah. Always a commodity. So they'll be drafting an O-lineman. I would imagine in round 2 or 3.
There's got to be some guys that they can.
But the game is won and lost in the trenches, and to add a good one on the defensive side, and you really did nail a good point. You got to keep Joe Burrow clean and upright. Yeah. But with Sexy Dexy, you mentioned the DBs and how they need help. Well, adding a player that can get pressure on the quarterback, that does help the DBs. So if he performs to his capabilities, second team All-Pro for a couple of years now, you should have some good help on the defensive side. But you're right, it all falls on Joey. Got to keep him clean.
When we come back, Mark Spector will be with us from Rogers Sportsnet in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll also go in or out with Eddie Steele in the 8 o'clock hour. In the 9 o'clock hour, John Aaylor, Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man. The Ducks would have practiced and got into Edmonton sometime late yesterday afternoon. Again, I did a one-on-one with Colton Doc in the Oilers dressing room following practice yesterday. Wonderful conversation. He's a really nice young guy that is, and I mean, he's been to Oilers playoff games as a young guy. parents go to the games, season tickets and things like that. So we'll have that one-on-one with Colton Doc a bit later. Also, we'll probably hear from Coach Knobloch in the 9 o'clock hour too. And then Kelly Buckberger, the former NHLer, Edmonton Oiler. You know, it was, I got to think, it was 1997 here. And I don't know if you remember this, Eddie, or if, you don't remember, but maybe you've heard about it in Oilers folklore. But it was 97, and it was Game 3 against Dallas here. And the Oilers were down 3-0 late in the game. And people left. They left Northlands at that time. They just left the building. And all of a sudden, Oilers scored. It's 3-1. Then they scored another 3-2, 3-3, and everyone came back. Everyone that left the parking lot.
That's what I heard. They were trying to get back into the building.
And people are like, well, where's your ticket? I don't know. Maybe there was a stamp back then. I don't know. But
and now, did they win?
They came back. Bucky scored the overtime winner.
Ooh, 4-3. Sick.
Yeah.
What a comeback.
No kidding. Mark Spector when we come back. Kevin Karius and Eddie Steele before that. Time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunications, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here is the Duke.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Day 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs yesterday started off with the Avalanche holding on to beat the Kings 2-1. Juraj Slafkovsky hat trick, including the OT winner as the Habs take Game 1 over Tampa Bay 4-3. Sabres 4 goals in period number 3 to top the Bruins 4-3 in comeback fashion, and the Golden Knights double up on the Mammoth 4-2. In the PWHL yesterday, lone game saw Toronto blanking Minnesota 2-0, and the NBA playoffs 4 Game 1s yesterday. Boston beating Philly 123-91. The Thunder easily take care of the Suns 119-84. Orlando surprising the number 1 seeded Pistons 112-101. And Victor Wembanyama 35 points in his playoff debut. Spurs beat Portland 111-98. Off the court, league announcing all of its finalists for their postseason awards. MVP finalists Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, and Victor Wembanyama. And most improved player of the year, Canadian Nickeil Alexander-Walker joins Atlanta's Denny Adjiva and Jalen Duren from Detroit. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our number 1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
You probably know Stingray for radio advertising.
What about digital advertising?
Yeah, we do that.
Connected TV?
We do that.
Search and social?
And that.
Programmatic? Digital out of home?
We do it all. Endless digital platforms to connect your business to more customers, to intrigue them, engage them, so they choose your product or service. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com and let us help your business grow. We are Stingray. That's what we do.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 801 in Edmonton. Text 833-401-1440. Northside Lou texts in, KK, I was one of the idiots that left that game in 97. I was in the car when they scored the second and third goals. Oh, man. Tough one for sure. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. The playoff push is here, but in April at Northgate, there is no pressure, no giveaways, no phony prizes, just the good old-fashioned deal. See more at northgategm.com as we welcome in Mark Spector from Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
Boys, what's going on in there? Monday morning, you both look pretty chipper.
Yeah, well, man, you look good yesterday in that Sunday suit.
Yeah, I love wearing a suit to a Sunday practice, let me tell you.
Huh?
Nothing like getting a suit on.
Yeah, Kevin said that you had your Sunday best attitude about you.
Oh, yeah, I always do. It's the Lord's Day. I'm always in a great mood. Let me clean my camera.
How come you weren't like Gene and he had his suit hanging in Gretzky's stall in the Hall of Fame room?
How you like that, eh? Who hangs their suit in Wayne Gretzky's stall just like they own the place? Like
only one guy. That's Gene Principe.
Oh boy, that was
I like it.
Yeah. What do you think of practice yesterday? I thought there was a good jump, and I mean Leon looks good. Dickinson looks good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty typical of what we've expected here is they hold the information back as long as they can. And then there's that tipping point of, well, we wouldn't mind getting Leon on a line with his boys before we play him in game one. So it's hard to hold the secret back when you're playing him practicing him on Friday and Sunday with his wingers. So yeah, it looks very much like Dreisaitl's going to play. I'd be absolutely surprised if he doesn't. And now Dickinson comes in and he's centering Nugent Hopkins and Roslovic, which is a pretty nice looking line. So if they come into the playoffs healthy, good for the Oil, bad for Anaheim.
Yeah. What do you make of that third line? I just love that third line, Spec, and the matchups that they're going to get. I just love it.
Well, it's a pretty they've got a guy that can score in Roslovic. They've got a pretty good kind of set up man in Nugent Hopkins. They've got a ton of defensive acumen in Nugent Hopkins and Dickinson. Like they can play against anybody and not get lit up, I would think. If they have a shift against an offensive line where they say, let's play for a tie, let's just get off the ice and nobody scores, they can pull that off almost every time, I'd say. So that's what you want out of your third line. Defend well, chip in the odd bit offense here and there.
Spec, I asked this to KK earlier in the program. Outside of the obvious, outscore the opponent, what would be two main keys to success for the Oil against the Ducks in this series?
Well, the key when you're playing, and this is something I learned watching the Oilers when they were a young offensive team that was trying to figure it out. The key is to create an environment in which Anaheim starts to get frustrated. Where they're not getting looks. You have to play a defensive game where they're banging their head against the wall and they say, man, we just, there's nothing here for us. We can't get a scoring chance. We're getting shut down. We got to take a chance, right? We got to push the envelope. We got to open up a little bit. That's what you have to do to Anaheim. Put them in a position where they get a little bit frustrated because they're used to a certain amount and a certain, like a certain amount of offensive chances when they play. So if you frustrate them, they open it up a little bit, and that's where you exploit them.
Mark Spector with us on Sports 1440. What do you make about the depth that Anaheim has in the sense they've spread out? You know, they don't just stack up their guys like Cutter Gauthier is their number one goal scorer. He had a fabulous season, but they split up some guys in Seneca and Carlson and Gauthier. How do you make how their alignment kind of looks and how the Oilers look at that alignment spec?
Well, they're deep enough now that they kind of can come at you with a few, with some danger on every line, right? And that's good. Like, there's, I was trying to think of a team the Oilers played where I thought they were like a one-line team. Well, the other night when they played Colorado, and all those guys sat out, they had one top line and they had like 3 third lines. Anaheim's not like that. They got guys on every line that can get you here. Or certainly their top 3 lines. So that's good. I mean, that's some depth that you have to earn. The first, 3 years ago, Anaheim didn't have that. They had one top line and a bunch of guys. Now they got several offensive players who can make you pay a little bit. And they had Carlson on the back end. They got Jackson Lacombe on the back end. They got some guys back there that facilitate offense. So they got the offensive side of the game down for sure. And they got pretty good goaltending. So there's really one place to exploit Anaheim, and that is their inexperience at playoff hockey. And probably they need to learn the lesson of patience that the Oilers had to learn, where you can't win a series in one game and you can't, you don't have to score a goal every shift. That's an advantage the Oilers have.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man. Playoffs. It's an exciting time. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere down there, just in and around the building, the environment, the buzz that all the fans come and create that energy. I wanted to ask about goaltending here, Spec, and Connor Ingram. I mentioned this to Low Tide earlier. Do you think he'll be able to rise to the moment, and not only once he gets there, remain there and play at a steady high level throughout the playoffs?
Well, I mean, there's been, this is a new place and a new level, I guess, but there's no evidence so far that he's ready to stumble, that when he's faced a big game, he hasn't been as good as in a previous game. Like, his game has been, tell you what, it was December 21st, he played his first game for the Oilers, and his game has just improved slowly and slowly since then. And now at the end of the season, when you need him at his best, he's giving you his best. So I don't know, Eddie, I guess you can always throw it out there and say, oh boy, he's going to walk out of that tunnel and there's going to be so much noise and he's going to be nervous. Guess what? Every single guy feels that way, right? I heard you guys talking earlier. You walk out of that tunnel tonight in Edmonton, man, I don't care whose uniform you're wearing or how many playoff games you played. You got butterflies, and those first couple shifts or guys are, they're just trying to get through them because everybody's got a lot of adrenaline flowing. So yeah, he'll have it too. But I would say to you that I see no evidence that Connor Ingram can't handle it.
What do you think it's going to be like for, say, a guy like Connor Murphy, who's played a lot, played in the playoffs only in the bubble? So this is going to be something for him, and same like Dickinson played in Dallas and stuff like that. But for Connor Murphy, I think that's the number one guy who I'd like to say after the game, what'd you think?
Yeah, right. And I think if you watch him his first couple shifts, he'll probably won't keep the puck on his tape a long time. He'll make the simple play, and he'll, like everybody out there, the story is always the same. You just try to survive those first couple shifts when everything's going crazy, and then it turns into a normal hockey game. And it doesn't take that long. It really doesn't take that long before they're back to playing hockey and the adrenaline comes back down and you're a normal player. But those first couple shifts, man, I mean, I watched Buffalo last night, and that building, it went from crazy at the start to, it's sadly quiet. All these fans who waited 14 years, they couldn't even get a goal. There's 8 minutes left in the game. There's it's 2-0 Boston, and all these fans are sad and quiet. And then when that thing exploded, man, when the lid came off that pot in Buffalo, boy, that was unbelievable theater last night.
Yeah, I'm glad that you took us over there because I was going to shift gears around the league. That Buffalo comeback in the third. How about Montreal? Slavkovsky with the hat trick, all on power play goals. How about Minnesota whooping Dallas 6-1 on Saturday? Yeah. It's been thrilling so far.
Yeah, all the things in playoff. That's why the first round is so great. Pick a cliche, right? Dallas has been there a lot, they're going to be ready to play. Really? They lost 5-1. You know, Buffalo's going to come out of the gate storming. They're going to be unreal because they've been 14 years to get there. Really? They didn't score a goal until it took them, 52 minutes to score a goal in the game. It's never what you think. Here we are in Edmonton. Edmonton's got all this experience, and Anaheim's got lessons to learn. Yeah, they might come out and win 4-0 tonight. So that's the beauty. Slavkov, like Tampa and Montreal. Tampa's they are an experienced, good team. They know how to win and all that stuff. You see the release on that goal in overtime? I mean, what a release Slavkovsky has. He just blew that wrist shot past Vasilevsky.
What do you think of the Utah game, Spec? Because Utah's ahead here, and then 2 quick goals, like about $1.50 apart. They get a power play goal by Mark Stone, and then another goal, like I said, about a minute and a half later. But they're banging in that series too. I mean, that was a physical game, man.
Oh, a lot of blood spilled in that game, right? There was guys bleeding all over the ice out there, and I mean sticks and hard physical hockey. And I think Utah comes out of that feeling okay. So what do we learn? We got a lead and we didn't handle it very well. Well, that's better than never getting a lead. And I think you're going to have to learn that lesson when you haven't been in the playoffs for as long as Utah hasn't been in the playoffs. All those guys playing their first playoff game last night, so many of them. So you know what? So they lose in their first game in Vegas, whatever. They were way quicker in Vegas. I'll tell you that, way quicker. And they didn't get pushed out of the game by all that physical stuff. And that's what Vegas is trying to do to a younger team in Utah.
52
and
hits.
So they lost the first game. Big deal.
52 hits for the Knights last night.
Is that right, eh? That was killer hockey. I did watch a bit of that game too. I mean, hockey all day. What are you supposed to do? Your eyes go square, boys.
Exactly.
Go square watching the round puck. Hey, Spec, I want to ask you logistically, because the man sitting across from me, he's a peasant. He's one of us. He doesn't get a parking pass. You get a parking pass, you don't have to go down hours before a game with playoffs when it's crazy down there, do you?
No. Rogers is very kind enough to provide you with a parking pass downtown. So, I mean, listen, I got to drive in like everybody else.
Look who he works for.
I know. That was a pretty funny look on your face, Karius.
I'll tell you what, they'd go broke if I had to pay $30 every time I went to the rink.
Exactly.
So
that's Rube's got to find a place, Spec.
Got to find and walk.
You know what? I got a couple of places that are not bad. Secretive, though.
Of course, you got a place.
Wow,
of course.
No, it's just you got to be willing to. How do I word this without pissing everyone off? Or some people. You got to wade into the. How's this sound, Spec? You got to wade into the north side of the building. How's that sound?
Yeah. Well, be careful. Jerry Mudajong had one of those deals.
Yeah. You guys didn't hear, Jerry.
Yeah, I know Jerry.
Wow,
Yeah,
Jerry got into it with some couple of people that were. Was it getting pepper sprayed?
Some locals.
Some people hanging around the walkways, the pedways. He's a pedway guy. From where he begins to get to Rogers, he walks through a whole bunch of pedways.
Yeah.
And he had a run in with a couple of guys, one of them sporting a can of bear spray. So that wasn't great.
Jeez, they got him, huh?
Yeah. What would Eddie, would that be no problem for Eddie though, eh, Spec? He would just.
Oh, the spray?
Well, anything.
I don't care how strong you are. You get that spray in the face, you're not so strong anymore.
I've had it. Yeah.
You've had it?
Oh, I've had it. It'll put a fella down.
Yeah.
North End Winnipeg Chronicles, Spec.
Yeah. I bet there's some chronicles up there.
What else, Spec? Am I missing anything that you wanted to address? And you always throw something out at the end here.
Oh, geez. I don't know. What do I want to address tonight? I think we're doing pretty well. I guess I'd say to you that, I don't know. I'm strangely optimistic about the Oilers. I feel like, I feel like, you miss Kulak. He's a good player and you wish you had him, but he was a third pairing guy. Connor Murphy's a second pairing guy and he's made Nurse a lot better. So I feel like their top four defense is stronger than it was last year. And I feel like, what if I don't know what Connor Ingram's capable of here. That's the big unknown for me, but just dare to dream. Like, what if Connor Ingram gave you a 10% better goaltending than you've ever had? You know, where would 10% get the Oilers if they had 10% better goaltending?
They'd have at least one Stanley Cup.
Yeah. You know, probably they'd have a Stanley Cup. So I don't know. Like, let's see what it would be a hell of a story because Ingram, and I wrote a piece on him, it should be coming out any minute here on sportsnet.ca. Ingram was totally plan B in this town, right? Bowman grabbed him up because Utah was done with him. He was, in the meantime, he was trying to trade Skinner for a number one. He was trying to make a number one trade, but he thought, let's throw this Ingram down to the farm. They acquired Ingram from Utah for nothing.
You know what I would say, Spec? I would say he would have been plan C.
I was going to say that too, Karius.
Right? Because
plan C behind Skinner, who?
Well, Skinner and then Jari. Skinner was your plan A this year. There's no denying that.
No, there is denying it because at the moment he traded for Ingram, he was already trying to move Skinner out of here.
Yeah, but
he tried to move Skinner all summer. Couldn't move.
Skinner just took you to 2 Stanley Cup finals here. So he's plan A going into the season. There's no denying that, Spec.
And then Jari.
Comes in. Now he's plan B.
Ingram, the whole plan was to groom him and get him a few games, not to come up and be the number one guy here.
Not at all.
I think
not at all. And that's what makes it a great story.
He's the emergency guy if guys get hurt and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he was just a what if. Like, remember, he had really good numbers in Arizona when he played before he had his real issues with OCD and ended up in the player assistance program and ended up in Utah. They'd said, don't even come to camp. We're going to get you out of here. We don't want you. He had behind an awful team in Arizona for 2 years in a row. He put up a .907 save percentage. So Bowman said, hey, man, what if he came to Edmonton behind a way better team? How good would he be here? Let's see. And he expended 0 assets and got this guy. And listen, we've all carved up Bowman. The Jari trade was an awful trade. But this guy's your goalie now. And he might be the best goalie we've had in this town in a long time. We're about to find out.
Wow. And not only that, but I mean, Utah's still paying him $800,000.
That's right. They're still paying 40% of his salary, and you got him for nothing.
Yeah, I'm not going to crown Bowman as the man or anything, but there has been some astute moves, and you mentioned 2 names there in Murphy and Ingram in the goaltender. I want to go back to Murphy because the bully element that he adds. He has shored up Nurse's game, but there's some intangibles that he has brought to this team. And sure, they had guys like Corey Perry who are gritty, but Murphy and the way that these guys can play, they can be bullies out there. And the Oilers haven't been bullies for a long time.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. That's why you like all of a sudden with Frederick and Doc on that 4th line as well. Yeah. You got, like if you want to play the game, we watched a few of those games yesterday where there was a ton of contact. And now you got Edmonton has those bullets. Wait till Doc and Frederick jump over the boards tonight. Wait till one of those young guys tries to squeeze past the boards on Connor Murphy and see how that goes for you, right? Like,
4th line of Anaheim's got some size too. So
they do. So that's not. I would say to you that I'm not telling you the Oilers are the most physical team in the world, but they can play the game. They're not at a disadvantage in one of those games because they got some guys now, and we all like to see that.
Spec, good stuff. We'll see you down at the rink tonight. 8:20 puck drop. 8:20 puck drop.
Oh boy, get a nap in, boy. It's going to be a late night.
Probably go for nine holes this afternoon. Eddie's buying.
You're treating Karius?
Eddie said he's buying.
What's open?
Okay, well, the ranch is open tomorrow. Millwoods is open already. Today, Ravencrest and Redtail.
Montgomery
Glen opened yesterday, so we've got courses that are ready to roll here in town.
Wow, let's go.
Yeah,
how about Terra Pines? Does Terra Pines only open on November 1st or what?
They don't close.
It's been open all the time. Yeah. Eddie's buying, so come on out, Spec. Let's see that big slice get going on that you got.
All right, baby. Sounds great.
Mark Spector on the mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC, powered by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. Check them out at northgategm.com.
I can't wait to see Duke snap a couple hard left UFOs because he's a lefty. So his slice really,
you call them UFOs,
really peels off to
it's
the
really
left.
an unidentified flying object. Is that why you're calling that?
His get going.
Well, I thought maybe you had some other acronym.
No. His just bird.
Yeah. King of rock and roll. It ain't coming back.
I've heard that out of you a few
you know what?
times.
On Friday too, at the Toast of the Town, they had an Elvis impersonator. They did, and he sang 3 songs. And I looked at him, and Gary Meyer looks at me, and then I'm walking because I'm going to address the crowd after Elvis is still in the building. And I looked at him, and then a guy comes up to me and he goes, "Elvis, you know who he looks like?" And I go, "I know." So he looked exactly like Louis DeBrusque with black hair and black sideburns. So anyway, I brought Louis up and I said, "Louis, look at these guys. Like they're like twins. Louis, if you got the black hair, jet black hair, and the cape and the sideburns, you guys would be like identical
It
twins."
hit? Did it hit?
Oh yeah. People
Good.
were like, "Yes, it's like
Nice.
just like Louis for sure." 833-401-1440 text line. Get them in. We'll get them on. When we come back, we'll get to some of those texts and much more on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, Eddie Steele, and Josh Fennick here on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill. Still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell, and we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me. GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At GS Construction, we're multitaskers. We've got lots of projects going on all around Edmonton and area. Different teams across the city working towards the same outcome. Installing today what will serve generations to come. It's a rewarding career and the work never stops. That's why GS Construction is always on the lookout for great people to join us. Right now, we're looking for experienced topmen, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. So if you want to feel valued, empowered, and engaged in your work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
At Booster Juice, doing good tastes really good too. From now until April 26th, every purchase of a Mood Booster Ball will help support the Community Booster Fund. So while you're enjoying a Mood Booster Ball made with caramel, marshmallows, and peanut butter, you're also supporting athletics, community, and educational initiatives across Canada. Let's fuel healthy communities together. For more information, please visit boosterjuice.com. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
It's playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker. Join us for the Titan Supply pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting non-stop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
The Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
On the line.
Wow.
On the line.
It brings back memories and nightmares, everything.
All the above. I just need to hear the people text in how many people drove off the road, how many windshields cracked.
It's unbelievable that you still have. Kyle just said, "Are we really doing this again?"
No, we're not. We're not. Even when Duke played that up.
Do not play that song.
Yeah, Duke pulled it up and I said something. That's funny.
Jordan texts in, rumor has it Eddie went to Costco and told the sampler to take a break so he could warm up his lunch in their little oven.
Oh, that's a good one.
Would you
that's a really good one.
Like I mean that the oven there is more of a, it's not like a microwave.
No, that's way too slow for me.
So you need
that's
the microwave.
Slow and low.
Yeah.
Not only the microwave, but typically, 7-Elevens, they're notorious. They have these industrial microwaves.
Well, yeah.
So half the time, KK.
The Duke apparently is going to be taking us out for lunch as early as Friday to end out the week. So, man, Eddie. It's going to be the buffet at the Szechuan Castle.
We're going to do a buffet. Watch out.
So how many plates are you going to really? And you said you're going to wear sweats?
Oh, yeah. I'm going ready to work. What if I showed up? What if I walked in with a headband, a sweatband?
Because you're going to get this. You'll get the ginger beef sweats going.
You're going to get the ginger sweats.
I'd like to mix
I'm going to get
up.
the Kung Pao sweats.
Hey?
Yeah, it's how many plates? Minimum 3. I'm going with a purpose. I'm not just going to be satisfied. I'm going to indulge. Going to overeat.
But you don't want to hurt your.
No, I'm not going to hurt myself, but I'm going to stuff myself. When's the last time you've gone to a Chinese food buffet? For me, it's been at easy 10 years. Easy. Probably more.
Do you think these, like the people of the castle here, are going to be disappointed because they're not going to make any money?
No, they're taking an L with our table. We must tip handsomely. Oh, and the tea. I forgot about the tea.
What tea? Like
they'll probably have tea. You don't mess with the tea?
Yeah.
Helps you digest.
The tea does?
Yeah, man.
Well, we'll never know.
What are you looking forward to the most? The ginger beef? What's your favorite dish?
I like sometimes depending on the type of noodles.
Chicken
like there's a
balls, too.
vermicelli noodle, sort of like those thinner noodles.
You like the thin ones?
I like, because the thicker ones, those udon style noodles, they're too big. They'll fill you up. So you've got to.
Yeah. If you want more, you'll have the thin ones.
Yeah.
Vermicelli ones. Chicken balls too. That's
but see, that's a lot of dough.
Yeah, but that's okay, man.
I like the shrimp.
I was gonna say some seafood. I'm looking forward to some seafood dishes.
Well, they have the peel and eat shrimp as well.
Oh, they do.
Oh, yeah. Morning, boys from Sham. Got back from Florida Friday, almost 2 months. Not sure I was ready for Eddie's voice on the first Monday back. So much for easing back in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
From Sham.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know if you're going to sing this year's song a little more than lay it on the line.
You know, it all depends. It all depends what tickles the twine.
Even during the Oilers run, did they have another one last year, Duke, or it was just
the
same?
Well, what was super heavy was that what was it? Pink Pony, Pink Panther,
Pink Pony,
Pink Club,
Pink Pony Club.
Yeah, Pink Pony Club.
Yeah.
So that was
Josh
hot and
Fenwick's
heavy.
favorite
That was
song.
played everywhere. You go into a restaurant and that'd be playing in the background, and that was everywhere. I remember.
You know, this is only the third time that the Oilers and Ducks have faced each other in the playoffs. They did so in 2006, and they did it in 2017. The Oilers won in 2006 that series 4-1. The Ducks cheated in 2017 and won that in 7 games. The Oilers had him. The Oilers really had him in, just when they coughed up that 3-goal lead. The comeback where on Catella, Duke? Yeah. But they've had some really, really good games. If you go back to that 2006 series, and it's probably too young for Duke to remember because he would have been 10 years old or whatever. But there were some really, really good games in that 06 series. I mean, there was one game the Oilers beat them 5-4. And there was only 1 goal in the first 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
1 goal.
What a period that was.
And then the third, it just went bananas. And the Oilers won it by a score of 5-4. And it was just crazy. But the Rexall place was just like a nut house back then. The Oilers beat them also 2-1. And that was game 4. When they lost game 4, it was 6-3 at Rexall Place, but they won that 5th game at the Pond by a score of 2-1. So they were tight games. And then the one that we're talking about here in 2017, that's the Ducks winning 4-3 in double overtime. Man, that was a tough one.
And it just shapes up for today perfectly, though, KK.
Mm-hmm.
With, it's probably going to be the nicest weather day of the year thus far
For
on
sure.
the calendar.
Yeah, for sure.
Daryl's laughing. He's laughing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's a money maker. Yeah. I mean, you think about
20 degrees come 8. Oh, and how bright it's going to be late at night. Oh, my goodness.
Still, even right now coming into work,
it's getting, it's changing.
That sun, rising in the west, it is unbelievable.
It rises in the west?
Yeah. That's
I know. I know.
When that sun comes up in the west, boy, holy cow.
I was playing on it. I was playing on it.
That was a good one. Text 833-401 1440. I don't know, Jordan. I don't know what you're getting at here about it. The real question is,
have you ever seen the movie The Mighty Ducks?
No.
Or D2?
Oh, I have. What is it?
The real question is, how is Adam Banks' wrists? Can he rotate it while holding a stick?
Cake eater.
Yeah, total cake eater. Wouldn't want him on my team.
Oh, are you kidding?
No.
You're Duke.
Here's the thing.
He's the most talented player on ice.
Yeah, he's definitely the best player on those
in the movies
on those Ducks teams. But what was his competition?
Dude, he went to D3. He was in grade JV and he was on the varsity team.
Yeah, that's fine.
Come on, Duke.
The rest. So maybe he was okay, but literally the rest of the team was terrible.
Yeah, he was the best player in every movie. Played
by a lot.
Played varsity, man.
Saw as a freshman, true freshman.
The Warriors.
Not Fred says the castle, Szechuan Castle's already putting up the out of order sign on the men's bathroom for Eddie. Believe it?
Nah, we'll just call Mr. Reuter. Those jalapeno pepper poppers.
Large Farva says the barn's going to go nuts, bananas when they announce Draisaitl tonight. Well, depends on, if he's in the starting lineup, man. Woo. Hey, Duke, in game 7 of that series, Getzlaf finished off Secker in the first 15 seconds. Look at that, Duke. Even Tiger's on your side. 833-401-1440. When we come back, we'll go in or out with Eddie Steele on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home's story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the VLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
It's playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker. Join us for the Titan Supply pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products.
Professional golf is coming to Blackhawk Golf Club this fall. The ATB Classic, presented by Building Trades of Alberta, brings the stars of PGA Tour Americas to you. Enjoy the ATB Fan Zone, presented by Michelob Ultra, where golf meets festival vibes. Upgrade to VIP-covered terrace seating with premium food and beverage options. September 17th to 20th. Tickets start at just $25, and the first 250 buyers receive a PGA Tour Americas commemorative gift. Get yours at atbclassic.com.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:39 in Edmonton. 4 games on the NHL docket tonight, including the Ducks and Oilers for an 8:20 puck drop here at Rogers. We've also got Minnesota and Dallas. Ottawa visits Carolina, and the Philadelphia Flyers take on the Penguins in Pittsburgh after winning game number 1 by a score of 3-2. Text 833-401-1440. We'll get to some of them momentarily. Time now for Are You In or Out? Brought to you by Pro Solutions. If you need fast air conditioning service, well, Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, and installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Okay. You know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions. Just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, let her buck.
It is game day. Oilers and Ducks, game number 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs year 2026 for Edmonton, and that's where we're going to focus all 4 of our sports questions today, starting with the Oilers and their key to victory, number 1 on the checklist, and getting through round number 1 in the Pacific Division bracket is going to be a remaining and standing commitment to their defensive game.
For sure. I mean, we've been talking about it for quite a while here, Duke. 7-2-2 in their last 11 games. They've allowed 24 goals in those games. So just, 2 and change. Connor Ingram's been great. You know that and you brought up Connor Murphy quite a few times this morning, Eddie. And it's almost like getting 2 defensemen for 1 here, because now Connor Murphy's brought out the best in Darnell Nurse. So and we haven't had I don't think that this team has had a second pair like this for a long time. If you wanted to say that you had Bouchard and Ekholm together, and it's been like that for quite a while, but I mean, there was something about Cody Ceci and Darnell that they played okay together, but not to the extent of what we're seeing with Connor Murphy. So it's almost like you made 2 trades for 1 here to get the level of Darnell Nurse to where it is.
Turn Darnell back into Doc.
Yeah. So that goes with their defensive game. Those 2 guys are a big part of it. And it allows Wallman to be on the 3rd pair with Emberson here. And that pair's got to be sneaky good too here. So again, it's about getting back to getting the pucks, to getting them out quickly. We'll see. I want to see what Anaheim does if they take a page out of Florida's game and press that defenseman up against the wall when the Oilers ring it around the boards, because that Florida had the most success against the Oilers. So to counter that, you got to, as a forward, if you're along the wall at the hash marks, what you got to do is back off about 3 feet, so you get the puck touch quicker, and then you'll be able to flip it out a little quicker than that D-man bearing down on you.
Florida's that's ingrained in them though. That's
yeah, but I mean, what happens is teams look at that and they go, "Hey,
of course,
this is what Florida did to beat the
for
Oilers."
sure,
They
for sure.
Bottled them up.
Try and copycat.
So keep an eye on that. Like if that, whatever that, so the F3's got to be back to support that defenseman, Eddie.
I'm just saying, I don't think, and I agree. It's always sports or copycat. You're looking at game film and you're trying to see what works against teams. But does Anaheim have that ingrained in them the way Florida does? Sure, you can try and roll out that and see if Anaheim can stick to that. That's my whole point. And how well do they play at that?
And from the Oilers side of things, right, we know how offensively talented a good chunk of their players are, and they can play. We've seen it this year and years past, like kind of that run and gun style. In a run and gun game, Anaheim might win a couple, right? Like they have a better chance at taking the series if things get opened up a little bit. Whereas if you're Edmonton, you look and say, we know they don't really have it, as you said, Eddie, inside their DNA to play this more traditional playoff style of game, defense being the main priority. Who cares if you're winning 2-1, right? And that is, it's a playoff cliche, and we did see some higher scoring affairs over the weekend to open things up. Call that nerves, call that jitters, call that emotion. We usually tend to see things tighten up a little bit as the playoffs progress. And so I think for the Oilers, it would be paramount to kind of keep that top of mind and not try and regress into that up and down the ice track meet, because when you look at the Ducks roster, and you talked about respect, they balance their lines pretty well. They might be able to skate with you in that type of a game. Lockdown D, probably not as much so. Jumping over to the Duck side, and their number 1 key to victory. Is maybe a little broad, a little also cliche, but I think it comes in the form of playing like you have nothing to lose. I've been following every outlet, everything. I don't see very many experts, analysts, former players, whatever, giving the Ducks much of a chance in the series. You got a veteran coach that knows what he's doing back there in Joel Quenneville. You got a lot of young players that are maybe too green to not know what they don't know. Play free, play loose, and don't maybe try and be something you're not here, even if it is the playoffs for the first time for a lot of them.
Look at Montreal. I mean, similar with Tampa Bay, no? I mean, not many people giving Montreal a chance to win. They win game one. That's the mindset that Anaheim has to have coming in here.
Montreal's a 100-point team too.
Yes, I get
a lot of confidence.
I get it, but
well, my whole point in that is Anaheim had 43 wins.
Sure they did.
Right? Like Anaheim had a strong season. So, and I'd probably get caught up in this trap too a bit, KK, maybe overlooking them a little bit because they are, you could say, ahead of schedule, the Ducks. In terms of, maybe they were going to be a wild card team this year, but they had a really strong season, very inexperienced. So I think a lot of the pundits think Edmonton should handle them quite easily. But this team is man, they're dangerous.
Man. You got don't.
They have some weaponry. They can fill the stat sheet.
Wow. I mean, again, Cutter Gauthier had 41 goals. I mean, Carlson he played a full season. He missed a dozen games. He's probably knocking on the door for 40 because it took him a little while to get back, and he finished with 29. I mean, Seneca for a rookie, like, again, their top three scorers are 19, 20, and 21. And they're well over 6 feet, and they're 200 pounds.
They have good
they're
size.
Big guys.
Yeah, they have good size on their roster.
Yeah.
And they do have, and I mentioned this with Connor and you last week, Kevin, like they do have some veteran players with playoff experience, Chris Kreider, Jake Trouba, John Carlson. And on the back end, those guys, Trouba and Carlson in particular, play a little bit of a bigger role. But the way they balance their lines, like you're not having a trio of 21-year-olds out there on a shift, right? And Mikhail Granlund mixed in there, of course, as well. Alex Killorn, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. So they do have some veteran guys to lean on, even if they're not their premier players at this stage. But coming into Edmonton for game one, we've already talked about, the environment and how loud it's going to be to start things off. Do your best to try and take that out of the building early in the game and in whatever fashion that is. If it's icing the puck 100 times to start or doing your best to get the first goal, don't get overwhelmed, I suppose, if you are maybe one of the more inexperienced players in the lineup. X factor in the series for the Edmonton Oilers, I think it's a guy that we've seen get better and better all year long. He's going to kick things off, we would expect, skating on the top line alongside Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman, two players with plenty of playoff experience and a ton of success in the playoffs too. I think the Oilers' X factor in this series is Matt Savoy.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, Duke, but I mean, for me, it's I'm looking ahead to question number 4, but for me, it's right now it's Connor Ingram. I mean, and that's just so chalk to say it. It's going to be the goaltenders, right? And we could talk about special teams. If you win the special teams battle, if you win the goaltending battle, more often than not, you're going to win the series. I just want to see how, for me, Connor Ingram goes into this because he's been so calm, so cool. He, everything's, water off a duck's back with this guy. So I get where you're coming back. And again, coming from this with Matt Savoy, 3 goals in the last game. He looks, and to see those 3 guys play together, I mean, there's a little bit, if you get to the spots, Connor McDavid's going to find you.
I think that was pretty evident against Vancouver.
Find you. So, and then you add on the fact that there's so much synchronicity because they've played so well for so long together in Zach Hyman. Now you add another guy on the other side, and it doesn't seem to be a problem on the off wing. He gets on pucks. He wins those one-on-one battles. And if he doesn't win them, it's a 50%er, and then you wait for help to arrive. So I'm in with you on Savoy, but I'm also going to be out on the question saying, for me, it's going to be Connor Ingram.
Yeah.
Yeah,
KK, that's really well said. And I feel like it's kind of low-hanging fruit to say the goaltender because it's so captain obvious. In terms of roster player, Savoy, he is going to be critical. I'm going to go off the board a little bit, though, and we talked about him a bit earlier in the program, but Jack Roslovic, tucked away on the third line with the potential favorable matchups. I think that he could get some goals from his position there, and that would be some really nice depth scoring for this lineup.
Yeah.
And for Savoy, to me, it just stands out because his emergence and ability to play on that top line has given Edmonton an ability to balance their lineup quite a bit, right? Playing Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on a third line with someone like Jack Roslovic, like all of a sudden you have a third line that can check. You've got a lot of defensive responsibility in Nuge and Jason Dickinson, but you do have the skill upside of Nuge and Jack Roslovic. So, and it's, and if things all of a sudden go a little bit awry and you got to shake things up, you're not taking a player that doesn't have the ability to play lower in the lineup all of a sudden either. His versatility will be very valuable in however long this Oilers playoff run ends up going, and his ability to succeed there. The reason I would push back on the Ingram thing, Kevin, is we've seen the Oilers be able to have success with moderate goaltending. They don't need guys to stand on their heads. They went to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. They might need it for a game or two here and there, but overall, they mostly just need average. And so from an X factor perspective, I don't think needing average goaltending will be the difference maker in the series. On the Duck side of things, that's exactly where I'm going, because for Anaheim and their porous defensive structure, they are going to need Lucas Dostal to be heroic. They're going to need him to stand on his head and do what goalies do, catch fire, be a difference maker and a game saver for them. So he is the Ducks X factor in this series for me.
So I'm in with you there for sure. To question number 4. These are two guys that really don't have a whole, 4 games for Connor Ingram that he played in Nashville in the playoffs.
And that was in relief, right? Because Saros was hurt.
So long time ago. And again, Dostal, we've seen him, play the big games at the Olympic level. So we know that
World Championships.
So he's there. But again, for me, I'm going to be in on this one. The Oilers are going to be throwing a fair bit of heat and throwing a fair bit of pressure pucks towards Dostal. He's got to be all world here for the Ducks to have a sniff.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the back end. X factor for the Ducks. I'm probably going to we'll go with Lacombe, man. See if the young cat can step up in a big moment. And you mentioned the age of their top scorers. What was it? 19, 20, 21?
That's right. Yeah.
Lacombe, how old is he, Duke? He's
22, 23.
I thought he was 23-ish, right in there. So I think this is a big moment for him. See if he can produce, because we know he has that offensive touch. So
25, sorry, college guy. So obviously played out his full time at Minnesota, but still obviously very young. And second to John Carlson on the back end in points. Carlson's been in the first 2/3 plus of the season in Washington. So take that for whatever it's worth. I'm surprised, Eddie. I thought you were going to maybe go with Radko Gudas and his ability to dictate the series from a different type, different style of game, a different element with the physicality, some shenanigans, maybe a little bit of it crossing the line at times. I think that is something that's weighing pretty heavy on the minds of any Oilers fans that maybe have even a shadow of a doubt in this series, because I know a lot of them, based on our text line going back to Friday, are quite confident going into this best of 7.
You think there'll be some shenanigans?
For sure.
What kind of shenanigans?
Oh, there'll be some crossing of the line, and it won't be from the Oilers.
You think
usually they don't
all Radko Gudas?
I think the Oilers will respond, but typically they don't throw the first punch in that sense of the dirty work.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens between. Again, you got Frederick and Doc that are going to be the counter to a guy like Gudas. Those are the main two guys.
Anaheim's going to try, though.
Yeah,
they're going to try.
Even Pods to an extent, should try. I think.
I hope Edmonton has some filth, and we know Connor McDavid himself too. Come the playoffs, he turns into a little bit of a rat weasel himself, and I love it.
Rat weasel.
Looking forward to it. Should be fun. Kevin, I hope you enjoy being at the game tonight. I was thinking about going, but
really,
being at playoff games in person is great, but there's other games going on that I'm also interested in.
Yeah,
if you catch
you gotta experience it, man.
We'll see. Tell you what,
it's your Ducks. This is your team, dude.
Game 7, I'll be there.
Nah.
Mark my words.
Okay,
mark my words.
All right.
Finally, today is April the 20th. A number of benchmarked things on this date, but 420, the universal date to maybe cut loose a little bit. Now, marijuana and its usage is legal across our entire country, a good chunk of the United States and elsewhere in the world. So I don't know if that's taken away from its allure a little bit. You don't have an entire encampment of people on the front steps of the legislature blazing one down, but I think a lot of people still indulge. And if you are, the best type of snack to have once you've inebriated yourself, I'm going with the salty variety over, say, the counterparts of sweet, sour, however else you want to, or whatever else you want to throw in those categories.
Yeah, I don't. The sweet stuff doesn't get me going.
You really, hey?
If I've had a couple of pops or whatever, I'm always going salt, which is great for you, obviously.
Oh yeah, really good.
I mean, either or, but. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say both.
That's it's like, hey Eddie, sometimes the rotation is actually the best. You don't need a lot of anything, but just a little bit of everything. Handful of Sour Patch Kids, handful of pretzels.
Yeah, a little salt.
Big
chocolate.
Big bite of rich chocolate.
You're
cake.
putting your M&Ms in the popcorn.
No, because those suckers are too heavy. They go to the bottom of the bag.
Well, so what?
And they melt.
Get down there.
Nah, man.
Those big meat hooks down there, man.
Nah, you
Come on
get
now.
your forearm to the bottom just to reach for an M&M, come up all slathered with butter because I'm getting extra butter and I'm having them layer it.
Double toasted cheese nips and licorice from Bad
Cheese
Captain.
nips
What are those?
toasted.
Double toasted.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know either.
Well, cheese nips are a little cracker, like a snack that I feed my kids. They're yummy, but they're small. Like they're smaller than a soda cracker. So toasting them.
So
you ever got that desperate, Eddie, where you're digging through your cupboards and you're like, oh, all I got here is some premium plus
Some sodas,
salt, some soda cracker.
Some peanut butter on those
eating a full sleeve of those
No,
bad boys.
peanut butter and jelly them up.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
What about just butter?
No, I've never done a cracker just butter.
Butter or margarine with a smear of that on a soda cracker. That's desperate times.
That
man.
is desperate.
I've had that many times.
Growing up, I would have that as like a snack at the farm as a kid.
absolutely.
Stuff. I can't say I've had it in quite some time, but
So I think I've told this before on air, but I had a roommate when I was playing in Hamilton, and he used to puff down a ton. And he was early in his smoking career, I guess you could say. And one time he smoked, and I woke up the next morning, and he ate a full jar of peanut butter and a full jar of Nutella.
Really?
Like both full, like gutted them. And they were mine.
How would that feel?
So
the next day?
I was vexed because it was mine. He obviously repaid me, but like he couldn't control himself, man. Full jar of each.
So
was he putting it on anything or just eating it with a spoon?
Oh, he was spooning.
Yeah, I had a buddy that had that almost the exact same thing happen where he came home and a roommate or something, it must have been, just sitting there on like the couch with the full like Costco sized jar of peanut butter, just spooning it right out. And he's like, dude, that's our whole house's communal peanut butter.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Now, since the herb became legal, do they still have, like I remember years ago, the potters would go down to the ledger wherever and have the big.
That was 420 was the day. Yeah.
So did they still do it now, or?
I don't know, man. That was big when I was in high school,
Yeah.
but times have changed.
Oh yeah.
Duke, do they still do it? Fenny, is that a thing? You guys are more up to date.
I have to think that probably some people do, but yeah, that it's legal now and you can just do it whenever you want at your leisure in 100 different forms. What's the point?
Yeah.
Like did it not kind of start as almost like a protest type thing?
For sure. That's what I mean.
Right. So what are you protesting if it's legal?
That's kind of
maybe that still happens in areas where it's not legal.
I don't know.
I heard it's Adolf Hitler's birthday.
That is also true.
Oh.
Also, founding day for Farmhouse, Alberta. That was my my fraternity.
Do you have a dance like ho hey ho hee?
No,
You guys
nothing,
don't
nothing
stomp like down in the south.
No, nothing like that.
Husk says, KK, I'm sure you tried some of the devil's lettuce when you were young. Give me 5-cent candies all day when I'm baked out. He's probably, I know he's talking about like the Red Hots and the Blue Whales.
Or just the soothers.
I guess. I don't know if those, like when years ago, those were the 5-centers, like the Red Hots. And it was just like they were in boxes. You would just, everyone put their mitts in there.
Totally.
It didn't matter.
I'd go to 7-Eleven. I'd be putting the candy in my bag and I'd say to the cashier, I'm just taking 10. But meanwhile, 30 are in my bag.
Yeah. Even Nail says, seems like there's quite a bit of experience with the devil's lettuce in studio. Well, and then how about this? Cat Dad says, Eddie was roommates with Ricky Williams. Have you seen that documentary?
Oh, he enjoyed the lettuce.
Man.
That's why he came to the CFL, man. They don't test. Fun
That's
fact.
right. Yeah.
They don't test for trees
For
in the
the herb.
CFL.
Yeah.
For the herb. Yeah, just performance enhancing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
why a lot of Americans.
they come up 'cause
really
know
come
they
here
like
and
to-
feel at home.
They can blaze up here and not have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those were the days, Eddie. Those were the days, eh? Text 833-401-1440. Triple C. It's okay, guys. You can just call it weed. You don't need to bring the devil into this. I don't, you know what's weird because
it's taboo for you?
No. But there's still maybe because I'm older, there still sometimes is an uncomfortability talking
Yeah.
about it, even though it is legal.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I totally get it.
But I had a buddy, the Jaybird. We're still good buddies, but man, he was like a few years back. Like, holy, I remember one time I had this really, really expensive lotion, like facial lotion for the wrinkles by your eyes or whatever. It was in a little small
packets,
little tube,
sample packets.
Yeah, and I came home. He had nowhere to live, so he bunked in with me for a while. I come home and Jaybird he was pretty blazed up, and he's got this lotion and he's got his socks off and he's rubbing it all over his feet. And he goes, "Boy, is this good lotion?" I said, "Jaybird, come on now."
The good on his feet.
Yeah. Oh man,
life.
MTR says it's because you were brainwashed as a youth, Kevin. No, come on now. Duke, so you found a ticket. You're saying Rob says it's nice to go to Oiler playoff games, but not paying $1,000. Duke says he found tickets for 221 tonight.
Yeah, I just did some looking here
Now-
on some secondary markets.
I don't think the game's sold out right now.
It's not.
Like, is it close to being sold out?
I'm not looking on. I'm looking on secondary markets.
If you go to Ticketmaster, does it show that that overhead shot of Rogers and the blue and the red?
Yeah,
dots?
good question. I couldn't tell you last time I actually bought anything from Ticketmaster, but let's go have a look. See.
Yeah, like I'd like to know because I thought I saw something a few days ago
that it wasn't sold out.
Yeah, that it wasn't, but I saw so many seats that were still available. Yeah, and it's not cheap to go, man.
Oh,
so Eddie, would you go to a game if you had the opportunity? If someone's buying you the ticket, probably.
Yeah. I'm not.
Well, I was kind of hoping that my buddy Chucky Slick might be dropping me a line either when I was over there on Saturday or at some point since saying, "Hey, you want to go to the game?" But I'm assuming he's probably going with his dad, since they have the season tickets.
Well, but maybe the dad wants the Duke to go.
Yeah, I kind of doubt it. These are all verified resale tickets that I'm seeing on Ticketmaster.
Not Fred says, I don't think it's sold out because if you take the filter off, Duke, take the filter off for the resale tickets on Ticketmaster. There are quite a few of the regular seats, but they start at about $300.
Okay, I'm taking off verified resale. Yeah, there are other ones available. Cheapest one is $300.
Yeah. Large Farber says you can get in upstairs for $190.
Yeah, I'm seeing that on Ticketmaster too.
Okay.
The problem with Ticketmaster, and all due respect, is that they tack on all the fees and stuff.
Yes. Well, Eddie.
So all of a sudden, I'm looking at $390 or $400.
So look, I've paid big money for events, and I don't mind it. I'll pay a premium, but that's a one-time fee that I would pay, not in game one where there's going to be.
You would wait.
I'd wait. Yeah. Like not game one where there's potential 7 game. Well, how many 4 games here potentially at home, and then a whole nother round of that, and then a whole nother round of that. Just can't keep doing that too much. But one time I would for a bigger game.
Would you? I don't know if I ever would.
I wouldn't pay more than maybe $500-600 a ticket.
500 a ticket?
Per ticket. That's about my max.
Yeah.
I'm not shelling out $25K for
right.
playoff ticket runs. And for the people that do, kudos to you. I wish I had your money.
What's on the go today, Big Eddie?
Gonna go down, do the pod with Deck here.
Who do you
Elks
got? You got
Nation.
any?
Not today is just catching up.
How was Snyder?
It was really good, actually. Got a really good head on his shoulders.
Do you think he comes in and again?
He'll compete.
He can?
Yeah, he'll compete for number 2. They have, and he knows, the name is Powell. He knows Taylor Powell, who came over from Hamilton.
Right.
They know each other from some history down in the States. So they have a lot of good character guys. That's what I'm noticing talking to these guys one-on-one is a lot of high character. They really do. Ed's done a good job. And Ed and Chris Morris, they talk about this. They talk about the talent, but they talk about wanting to get the right guys in the organization. And you truly are getting that right now with this regime.
SKS comes in, our Herb Tarlick sales extraordinaire. Schlemmer can't make the lunch on Friday because he's got the Alzheimer's.
So what are we going to do?
Well, either we're
That's SKS came in here with a long face.
Look at him. He's
disappointed.
He's already starting to fast, and it's Monday just to get that extra plate in. We have to figure something out.
We have to.
So we could probably do it next week.
Next week?
I don't know.
Hey, I'm down to make it happen, SKS. Today?
No, not today.
Huh, fellas?
No time today.
Huh? You cowards, you. 20 degrees out there.
Yeah.
I looked online. I pulled up about 4 courses that are open around the region. Earliest tee time I could get is 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Right at game time, huh?
Here, I thought you were looking at, when you said 4 courses, I thought you were talking about meals. I looked online. There's 4 courses.
Come on, get your head in it.
Come on now. Hey, that was In or Out, brought to you by Pro Solutions. Check them out at prosolutionsinc.ca. Well, Eddie, have a good week. We'll see you on Friday. The NFL draft, we'll be able to talk about, round number 1, a look ahead to round number 2 as well. So we'll have that to discuss on Friday. And by that time, well, it'll be game 3 of the Oilers series with Anaheim and, 2 home games. So we'll have lots to bust down on.
We'll chew down a lot
on Friday. Good show, Eddie.
Cool.
Go get some food. I mean, you look like you're just wilting away over there. Maybe stop.
Does this look like wilt?
Why don't you stop in at the castle? Maybe just have a quick sniff out and
I'll warn them.
I'll
warn them we're coming.
You should have a pregame, just so we know what we're getting into here.
Just sample the ginger, huh? Just for you.
Oh, attaboy, Eddie. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, we will check in with Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man, John Aaylor. We'll also have an edition of Cam and Eggs, and we'll probably hear from Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch at some point. And then we've got a one-on-one that I did with Colton Doc yesterday. And boy, again, that OHA team, that under 15 prep team that he was on, they have some good guys. Owen Zellweger, now Ducks defenseman. They were teammates on that team back, not quite 10 years ago or whatever it was, but it's a long time ago in the sense that I think there were 6 total NHLers on that team. And Kelly Buckberger, former NHLer. And again, that goal in 1997 that Bucky scored in overtime, it was 3-0. Dallas with 3 minutes or so left in the game, and everyone left Northlands Coliseum, and 3 late goals by the Oilers, and then Bucky scored the winner in overtime. Got to talk about that for sure. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Day 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Yesterday, the Avalanche hold on to beat the Kings 2-1. Juraj Slafkovsky with a hat trick, including the OT winners. The Habs topped the Lightning 4-3. Sabres scored 4 goals in the third, come back and beat the Bruins 4-3, and the Golden Knights double up on the Mammoth in the nightcap 4-2. In the PWHL, Toronto blanking Minnesota in the lone game on the schedule. And over in the association, playoff action there as well. Celtics, they beat the Sixers 123-91. OKC over Phoenix 119-84. Orlando surprised the number 1 seed Detroit with a 112-101 win. And Victor Wembanyama, 35 points in his playoff debut. Spurs over the Portland Trailblazers 111-98. Off the court in the NBA, finalists for the season awards were announced yesterday. Up for MVP, Canadian Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, and Victor Wembanyama. And in most improved player category, another Canadian there, Atlanta's Nickeil Alexander-Walker joins Portland's Denny Adjiba and Jalen Duren from Detroit. Across the majors yesterday, full slate of games, including the Blue Jays snapping their 4-game skid with a 8-run first inning. They go on to beat Arizona 10-4. And from the NFL, San Francisco 49ers and left tackle Trent Williams coming to terms on a 2-year, $50 million extension. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man John Aaylor, and here today's edition of Cam and Eggs. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails.
Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
Playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every Edmonton playoff game for the Legacy Heating and Cooling postgame show. Visit the experts at legacyheating.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved heavy truck auction is this Thursday at 9 a.m. with tandem and single axle trucks, including tractors, decks, dumps, man lifts, vacs, pickers, service, shunt, and tank trucks, plus more. Info at maauctions.com.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. If you're tired of slow, unreliable internet connections like I am, check out Starlink. It's fast, reliable, even in bad weather, and even works for 4K streaming for movie nights, online gaming, and more. Growing up on the farm in the sticks of central Alberta, we tried everything to get reliable internet, but we're always left with buffering video and half-loaded websites. There's nothing worse than losing your connection while streaming the big game. I'm getting mine set up soon and can't wait. If you're ready for better internet, order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-800-GO-STARLINK.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved equipment auction is this Friday at 9 a.m. featuring backhoes, excavators, forklifts, man lifts, wheel loaders, packers, road reclaimers, skid steers, telehandlers, turf mowers, plus commercial trailers and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 912 in Edmonton. Quick little segment here before we get to John Aaylor's Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man ahead of tonight's game number 1 between the Oilers and Ducks down at Rogers, looking at about an 8:20 puck drop for game number 1. Coming up a little bit later in the program, we'll have a one-on-one that I did with Colton Doc, Oilers winger that was picked up at the deadline from the Chicago Blackhawks. One of the things that we discussed in the interview was the fact that it was 2017, 2018, so not quite 10 years ago, but Colton played on the OHA Edmonton U15 prep team. And on that team, well, there's a player we'll see, Olin Zellweger, a local product. He played on that team. Colton Doc, in the 30 games that they played that season, had 22 goals and 47 assists for 69 points. Other players on that squad that went on and are still playing in the NHL, Corson Ceulemans for the Columbus Blue Jackets, Kyle Masters, defenseman out of Carolina, and then Reed Schaefer, Oilers draft pick, who was sent to Nashville in the trade that saw Matthias Ekholm come here. So 5 guys that played in the NHL and are playing in the NHL. Colton Doc was one of them. Well, Duke, you know how I throw the unfair trivia at you. Here it is. So on that team, as I said, Colton Doc, 69 points. He was the second leading scorer on the team. The leading scorer on the team was a player that you would have seen many times, and I'm wondering if you can connect the dots here. down at the Alberta Golden Bears.
That was going to be my inclination. Was that it was a Golden Bears player. So around the same age as these guys. Trying to think. Is it?
It's a guy.
Jack and Smallwood.
No, it's not. But it's a good guess. This is a guy that left last year. And went down to play. I believe it's at the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Right.
And he was one of the Bears' top scorers here. So he was one of the Golden Bears' top scorers, and a guy that played minor hockey, obviously, here in Edmonton, and then obviously played in Medicine Hat, I think. Got to make sure on that. And he's at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Sorry, Calgary Hitman. He was in Calgary, not Medicine Hat.
Oh, well, that would be old Sean Shigell.
Sean Shigell, yep.
Shigell.
Yeah, Sean Shigell.
Anaheim Ducks draft pick.
Yes, there you go. So pretty neat. And now he's playing at University of Nebraska, Omaha. He didn't have a great season. He had 20 goals for the Bears last year, played 35 games, had 5 goals for UNO this year. So fun fact. And it's just, there's a guy, he was so close. And I mean, maybe there's a chance down the road. He's one of those guys that ends up getting some sort of a free agent tryout down the road. But Sean Shigell was the guy. Text 833-401-1440. Still to come right around the bend. We will check in with Johnny Aaylor. Great guy. Really good play-by-play guy for the Ducks. You've been listening to him for a long time. I guess he's your go-to guy, Duke.
Long time, yep.
Yeah.
And so now, obviously, with the games getting national broadcasts, I believe he jumps over and does the radio spots for the playoffs here. And then he actually, even if Anaheim isn't playing, if they get eliminated here or years are knotted, he'll often do national broadcasts on radio for SiriusXM, NHL radio.
Right.
Pretty regularly.
So he's going over to radio for this series then?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so, because they kind of gave the big send-off to Steve Carroll at the end of the regular season.
Okay.
And because I don't know if Victory Plus keeps doing playoff broadcasts when there's national broadcasts for the games. Don't quote me on that, but maybe you can ask him.
We'll figure that out. That's coming up right around the bend. John Aaylor, Ducks play-by-play man on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a park view rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text VALUE to 780-777-7777 to start. That's VALUE to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Allen Olson Auctions presents the annual Rimby Spring Consignment Sale. Online bidding is open right now and starts closing April 20th, ending April 22nd. This massive 5-ring auction includes farm machinery, vehicles, RVs, skid steers, attachments, lawn and garden equipment, livestock equipment, and building materials, tires, tools, and so much more. Plus 3 real estate auctions selling in Rimby and Parkland County. For more info, call Allen Olson Auctions today at 403-843-2747 or visit allenolsonauction.com.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:21 in Edmonton, just awaiting the arrival of John Aaylor's Ducks play-by-play man. It'll be our game of the day for St. Albert Dodge as well, as John slides in here. And again, I mean, this is the third time that the Oilers have played the Anaheim Ducks in the postseason. That 2006 series went 5 games, and then obviously in 2017, we saw that series go the distance, go 7 games. And I think a lot of people remember game number 6 back in 2017 when it was here at Rogers, because the game really got out of hand quickly. It was a 7-1 final. And it was a situation where, I mean, everything that the Oilers were throwing on net was going in. And I mean, the Oilers really, really gave it. And it's almost like they've won a lot of these game 6s, have they not? Like you thought, back in 06 when they beat Carolina and then go back to Carolina, everyone's so confident. Same thing 2 years ago in game number 6 when they played so well against Florida here. And they go back to Florida for game 7 and you think you have that momentum. And that's what just shows you that the momentum from game to game in the Stanley Cup playoffs doesn't really happen. You have momentum shifts and swings in game, but not as much from game to game. Text 833-401-1440. Jay in Victoria says it's actually sad that the game is not sold out yet. Combination of prices, and I believe as well, because they've been there a lot. The Oilers have been there a lot. People that can afford the prices don't want to sit up top either. When I went years ago in the 300 level of Northlands, it was definitely a group of true blue collar hockey fans, and that is the case. Eddie, have a good one. A little late out to the studios there, Eddie, too, man. Oh, man. That is the case because you're true. It's up top. It's the blue collar fans. Not only that, you see how many times do they talk about it in Toronto when they show, the stands down below and talk about all the corporate, and they're not there for the start of the game. And then after the first period, they go down below and they start pumping some pops back underneath the stands at all the bars down there. But that's the way it's going, man. Brent says, I think people are gun shy about the Oilers going down 2-0, same as last year in the first round, then deciding to play playoff hockey in game 3. Well, I don't think any team wants to get down 2-0 in any series, no matter what, Bruce. You think about it, how that series was going with the LA Kings in round number 1, and they are a puck getting out by Quentin Byfield in game number 4, and then a bad challenge by Jim Hiller. Quite easily, LA could have been up 3-1 in that series. Text 833-401-1440. A lot of people talking about ticket prices on our text line. Appreciate all that for sure. It's a simple fact. That's where they're at with the prices. I mean, I don't know what the prices would be, say, if you're going to go to a game in the States, whether it be, say, Anaheim. I think, there will be a lot of Oiler fans that end up going on the road to games because they always travel well. I think maybe I'm getting ahead of ourselves here too, but when you think about where the team is, if you look at the second round, I think a lot more fans, and if Vegas were to win, they would go to Vegas because it's obviously convenient. How are we making out with John Aaylor's, Duke? Just still trying to get him. What's that, Duke? It's just trying to get John Aaylor. So he'll be down on his way to the rink. I would imagine that they would have got in sometime around supper last night. Oh, hey, Jana, our longtime happy listener, says, my concern is Radko Gudas doing something to Connor or Leon. What he did to Sid at the Olympics, even Austin Matthews after that. A lot of people have been talking about this, Jana. I don't think you're going to see. The other thing, too, you got to keep an eye on Jacob Trouba. Trouba, he will look for you if you got your head down, and he's going to try to take it off. Trouba's, to me, more dangerous than Gudas because he's a better player. Gudas is at the tail end of his career, doesn't have the foot speed. He doesn't have that. So, to me, Trouba's the much more dangerous player. Time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express packages have arrived. They got the 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, the body color bumpers in the grille, and a sport performance hood. You can see them at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome back John Aaylor's Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man. Good morning, John. You're with Kevin Karius once again. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 once again. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, when did you guys get into town? Sometime around supper time yesterday or so?
Yeah, we arrived. I believe we landed a little bit before 3 and got into town probably around 3:30ish or so.
Perfect. What's it? How does your job change, Johnny? Now with with broadcasting the rights and doing this, did you go over to radio now? How does it work for you?
No, we're televising the first round.
Okay.
We're allowed to in the States. Everything goes national after the first round, so we'll be televising throughout this series.
I get you. So sometimes it varies from team to team and what the organizations and what networks are allowed to do. But just overall, what do you think about this series? Some people think it's going to be a big run and gun type of situation because both teams have a lot of high end talent here. But what do you think about this series going in, John?
Well, it's interesting to me because I think the Ducks would love to play responsible defensive hockey. It's not really part of their DNA. It hasn't shown it's reared that ugly head, if you will, more than probably about a half a dozen to 8 times all season long. And as those of us who've observed this game and this time of year and the playoffs, we know that you need to grind that down on almost a nightly basis. Now, that perhaps the best opportunity for Anaheim to survive this series and move on past the Edmonton Oilers would be if it became run and gun hockey and they played wide open, because that is something Anaheim has thrived at all season long. They give up a lot of chances. They give up high danger opportunities, but they're willing to give to get. And at times, in fact, most of the time this season, it's worked in their favor. They've been a great come from behind team. They don't seem to be rattled when they give up good opportunities early and it hurts them on the scoreboard. They're a resilient group. They're a young group. They do have some veterans with experience this time of year, and it'll be interesting to see what we see starting tonight.
John Aaylor's with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man. When you mentioned trying to tighten things up defensively, and you also said about the run and gun style, have you noticed them trying to tighten things up a little bit defensively down the stretch here, John?
I've seen them do it successfully mid-season. They went through a stretch where they lost 9 in a row in late December and early January, and they lost some of their key players during that time. Leo Carlson was out. He had a thigh procedure, and I believe he missed a dozen games. Troy Terry was out for a good portion of that time as well. Troy missed about a quarter of the season all told this year on a couple different runs where he was out of the lineup, but they were missing, their key offensive contributors, and out of necessity, they had to change the way they played, and they won games, 3-2 and 4-1, and showed us the propensity to do it. It just wasn't a night in, night out thing. Now, when the Stars returned, we thought, are they going to continue to play this way? And it didn't sustain itself. So, yeah, we've seen that they have the ability to do it. We haven't seen it over long stretches of time, but we have seen it, and we all know that you need it this time of year.
What do you make of their special teams going into this series, John?
Well, it's not a great matchup for Anaheim on paper. You look at that Edmonton power play that's year in, year out the best in the league, and historically, even a couple of years ago, the best ever. And that number 30% jumps out at you, and obviously the talent that they have. Special teams has been a problem for Anaheim over the years. When they weren't a playoff team, they were near the bottom in almost both categories. Year in, year out, it has improved over the last couple of years, but there's still a bottom third power play. There's still a bottom third penalty kill, and that's a matchup that obviously does not bode well for Anaheim. Now you look at the short, small sample size that was the 3-game series that these teams played during the regular season, and Anaheim hurt Edmonton more on the power play than Edmonton hurt Anaheim. I think the Oilers were 2 for 8, and I think Anaheim was 4 for 12. So I think both teams would love to stay out of the penalty box. We know that's wonderful. That's a wonderful tack to take, but it doesn't always go that way.
What's the power play looked like since the arrival of John Carlson?
It's been much more efficient. Carlson at the top on that number 1 power play unit is so calm, moves the puck so quickly. And just in the last 4 games, I think they had 5 power play goals. So the numbers were improved with John on that unit. He's only been here for, I think, 16 games with the team. When he first arrived, he was rehabbing from an injury and didn't immediately get into the lineup. It's moved Jackson Lacombe, who has a wonderful future as the number 1 defenseman for the Anaheim Ducks for years to come, to the number 2 unit, which has made them a little more dangerous as a result as well. So, when you get more firepower, when you get more talent, obviously it spreads it around a little better. Cutter Gauthier, who led the team in power play goals, is on that second power play unit. So it gives them an opportunity to be more dangerous and with both of their units.
What's it been like to see Coach Q sort of separate the top end talent in the sense, as you just said, Gauthier's on the number 2 unit, but with Gauthier, Carlson, Seneca, maybe driving their own lines instead of stacking it up.
Yeah, I think it's somewhat out of necessity to try to spread around the offense. The Ducks aren't as deep through the top 9 or even just their forward group in general as I think they'd love to be. And you put all your eggs in one basket and you become pretty easy to defend. Leo Carlson can drive a line. He's looked very good with Troy Terry throughout the season, and Chris Kreider. That's been kind of a static group. Beckett Seneca's found himself moving around the lineup from time to time. He's probably going to play with Mikhail Granlund, I think, to begin this series here on a second line. And then Cutter Gauthier's played a third line role. He's moved from left wing to right wing mid-season. That was kind of a real boon to his offense. I think he finished the season with 22 goals in the last 29 games. He's obviously a sniper and a guy that can score, and you have to account for him no matter where he is. It's enabled them to, spread the offense around. They are a balanced group. I think there's 7 different players, including John Carlson, who have 50 points on this team. So you kind of have to pick your poison a little bit, and it's helped them, because the real difference this year, Kevin, has been the fact that this team can score goals. And in years past, they were near the bottom of the league in scoring goals. They still have defensive deficiencies that they need to address as a group. They've improved a little bit along those lines from the last 2 years, but they were fairly abysmal going back a couple of years with their defensive zone coverage. But the real difference this year for this team has been the offense, and the fact that Q has spread it around and enabled them to score with almost any group that's been on the ice has been part of their success.
Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man John Aaylor is with us on the Kevin Karius Show here on Sports 1440. What have you seen from Mason McTavish heading down the stretch in his level of play, John?
Signs of life, to be quite frank with you, Kevin. I mean, he was struggling. He had a healthy scratch for a couple of games at one point. Moved around to the point where he found himself, when he was in the lineup, on the 4th line in a wing position. I mean, he's played primarily center his entire time he's been in the National Hockey League, and lost his way as the season went along. But the last 7 games, I think 7 points, scored a couple of goals in the final game of the season, or the next to last game of the season in Minnesota. and really, has made that third line far more lethal. And he gives Joel Quenneville some options. He's playing left wing on the third line there with Ryan Poehling and Cutter Gauthier, but Poehling has become a good matchup centerman, third line option. He's a good face-off man, and McTavish has always been decent in the face-off circle in his own right. So he gives you another option there in the face-off circle if Poehling gets thrown out, and makes that line, more offensive, but also I think a better option for him. Jeffrey Viel had been playing on that line, and he's now been moved down to the fourth line. So I think come this time of year, it's good to have that versatility within your lineup. You're going to move players around as matchups go and as games play out. And, we need Mason to be the player we've seen here for the last 2 or 3 weeks, as opposed to the player we saw for probably the 6 weeks leading into that. It was perplexing. It's been hard to watch at times. And, this is a player the Ducks have tabbed to be part of their core. They signed him to a 7-year contract in the off season, and they want to go forward with Mason McTavish. And now would be a real good time for that to continue.
What do you make of the goaltending matchup in this one with Connor Ingram for the Oilers? And I mean, was their third or fourth option at the start of the year. And then Lucas Dostal, obviously, for the Ducks here, John.
Yeah, the story is great with Ingram, a player who, wasn't even invited, I believe, to Utah's camp when the acquisition was made. He starts the year in the American League and now finds himself as the number one option at the most important time of the year. The Ducks played Connor Ingram when they were in here, I think late in the season, maybe 9 games ago. He looked very solid in that game. Obviously, the structure defensively in front of him was good in that game, part of what the Oilers did down the stretch. And, he's not being asked to be spectacular. He's being asked to be steady, consistent, and be good. The Oilers aren't the sort of team that need a goaltender to steal a series for them. The Ducks, on the other hand, might want Dostal to steal a series for them. He's shown that he can do it when the spotlight is hot. He's played in the Olympics for Czechia. He won a world championship for Czechia a couple of years ago. It's kind of when he burst on the scene. He's a very professional young man who hasn't experienced the Stanley Cup playoffs yet, but I will say, if you look back through his history and to know him as I do, he's succeeded at every level he's been at. Does that mean he's going to succeed in the Stanley Cup playoffs? I think eventually he will. Will he succeed immediately? He could. But I know he's very much looking forward to it and believes in himself, and the Ducks believe in him for sure. He has been number one. Unlike the situation in Edmonton all season long, he has been the go-to number one goaltender.
It's been a couple of years since Jay Woodcroft was here, John, as you know, but is there any little bit of an advantage that he can offer being an assistant coach here on the Duck staff going into this series?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's certainly not a disadvantage to have him here. He knows the tendencies of the core players. They haven't changed since Jay was here, and they were having good playoff runs, just not Stanley Cup final playoff runs. And he knows the individuals, the players, the Dreisaitl's and the McDavids and the Nurses and the players who've been here and have been a part of it. So, I don't think there's any doubt it'll be something that the Anaheim coaching staff and management will lean on as heavily as they can and hope to find any advantage they can.
John, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Enjoy tonight's game and the series. Really looking forward to it. And we'll see you down at the rink later tonight.
I look forward to it. Thanks so much.
That's John Aaylor, Anaheim Ducks play-by-play man. And our game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the 2,500 Black Express packages, they're here. They got it all. They're loaded up. See them at stalbertdodge.com. When we come back, we'll have an edition of Cam and Eggs. Do we have it in yet, Duke? The Tater he's fired it off to the Duke. So an edition of Cam and Eggs. We'll also go one-on-one with Colton Doc in the next little bit right here on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 AM radio with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Mr. Rooter sees a UFO.
Mr. Rooter says 1 plunge, 2.
What's this? A UFO? An unidentified floating object. It's beginning to glow and levitate.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. You have freed us from the gravity of the white hole. Humanity will be spared.
Wow!
People aren't going to believe this when I put it in our new commercial.
If you want to believe in a plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every Edmonton playoff game for the Legacy Heating and Cooling postgame show. Visit the experts at legacyheating.ca.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made-in-Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson, and I'm joined by a very important member of our team, Jody. She coordinates our crew and job packages for all furnace replacements, air conditioner, and heat pump installs.
And Dennis, I've got to say, our installers really are the best. They've all been with us for a long time, and we never use subcontractors.
So you know that whomever is in your home is a Weiss Johnson employee, not someone hired out just to get things done. So the next time you need us, ask for Jody.
Always happy to help.
Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale is back. Save up to 25% on quality tire brands including Continental, Michelin, Motomaster, and Pirelli until May 21st. Conditions apply. Details online.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
Wow. All right. Welcome back to the big program. Where did you pull that out of, Duke?
Well,
What's going on there?
Since we started Cam and Eggs, I've been doing my best that in whatever segment that's in to play some song that is, good morning, wake up, something along those lines, right? Like there's a theme to these intro songs.
I see.
And so that is Misty Moisty Morning by Barra McNeil's. It's in the system here. That's a fun little jig.
Misty Moisty?
Yeah. I didn't love the title of it, but upon listening to it, I thought, hey, this is a good track.
Moisty.
Is that a real word? Hard to say.
Moist.
Moist is a great word, especially, but then you moisty.
Moisty's a word.
Moisty.
Connor McDavid, he comes into the Stanley Cup playoffs here. He was the league's leading point getter in 3 of the last 4 postseasons. You think about it, back in 2022, he only played 16 games, but he had 33 points. That still led the Stanley Cup playoffs, still led. Unreal. Had 42 points, 2 years ago in 25 games, was the Conn Smythe winner, obviously. Then 33 points, tied with Leon Draisaitl back in 2025. His career 1.56 points per game in the postseason. Now, that is the 3rd highest in Stanley Cup history. Only behind, and you can probably figure it out, it's Wayne Gretzky. That one's going to be tough to catch. That's 184. But Mario Lemieux, 161. So Connor is right on the heels of Mario Lemieux. Following yesterday's practice, McDavid had some comments to the media in a scrum that was very well attended in the Oilers locker room. And here's some of that post-practice sound.
It would appear that you're getting a little bit healthier here, adding more bodies to practice between Leon the last few days and now Dickinson. Is that really positive for the group if these guys may be available?
Really positive. Obviously, missing those two guys hurts. Obviously, Leo and Dickey, two of our top 9 guys. So miss those guys a lot, and good to see them back out there looking good.
With Leon, I mean, he's had incredible regular seasons, but there seems to be something about him in the playoffs, and you as well. But just sort of just when he gets into the postseason, he's gone through injuries. He doesn't seem to. It's really tough to stop again.
Yeah, he has an ability to raise his game to a whole nother level, and you see that time and time again in the playoffs. So it's a guy who battles through anything, Really impressive.
You guys got pretty much a full lineup going into game one last year. You had a lot of uncertainties of who's going to be in the lineup, who's going to be out of the lineup. What does that mean to be able to have a full lineup going into the first game of the playoffs?
Well, it's important. Obviously, health is a big thing. Health throughout the playoffs is important, and a team that can stay the healthiest usually has a good chance. So you want to be healthy day one, and we're getting closer and closer to that. With that being said, we know whoever's in the lineup can get the job done. Whoever's in there, we expect to play well, play our game, and
What's that off on this journey 5 or 6 times now? Started the playoffs, maybe more. Looking at your team from the goalie out, you got health, you got maybe a third line center. You haven't had one like that for a while. What do you think of this team, in comparison to all the teams you've taken into these things?
To be honest, I felt good about each and every group we go in with. Honestly, this group is no different. It really feels like it's anybody's year. But with that being said, we got a big challenge in front of us. We got a really good, young, skilled, exciting Ducks team coming in that we got to play hard. We got to be ready for, and we will be.
That's really an answer to this. I'll ask it anyway. You've gone so far now a couple times, and you've got so many playoff games under your belt. What's the difference heading in now as a 29-year-old with all this experience compared to when you were going in as a younger guy?
I would say just the knowing what to expect, knowing what it's going to feel like, the environment, the game, the pressures, the momentum swings. Playoffs is really a different game. It really is. And you have to understand all of that. And this group understands that. We've been through, plenty of runs and played in plenty of big games. And tomorrow's no different. It's a big game, game one at home. Great opportunity to get off to a good start.
There seems to be a very different vibe around this team now than there was, say, 5 or 6 weeks ago. Did you feel that yourself? Where does that stand?
5 or 6 weeks ago, it was a little bit dire, obviously, with some health questions and fighting for a playoff spot, and we've earned the opportunity to be in this position. Division, Pacific Division or not, we're here. We're in the playoffs, and we have an opportunity to play a game one tomorrow, and that's exciting. And I know this group is excited for it. The regular season has become a little bit monotonous for this group, and I think you see that through the day-to-day, but this is what we get excited for.
How much focus is there on imposing your will early, not kind of waiting to get to your good game early and go after them?
Well, you talk about lessons, and we've learned how important game one is throughout the course of our playoff career. Struggled in them for early in our career, and really put an emphasis on them now. They're important, and we want to play well tomorrow.
That's Connor McDavid following yesterday's practice. It was high tempo, quick practice. Again, all players healthy, looking like ready to go. And I mean, to see Leon Draisaitl out was phenomenal. To see Jason Dickinson as well. sheds, that gives the Oilers the lineup that they want. This is what when they made all the trades and they put all the pieces. And again, Matt Savoy being able to play alongside, with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman, before who was there? Well, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Well, you can't break those three up because they're playing so well together. Now you can, and it gives you more depth on line number 3. Text 833-401-1440. Michelle says, the game's starting the Stanley Cup playoffs this weekend. Which was your favorite game? I have to say, watching Buffalo get 4 goals in under 7 minutes was amazing. The Montreal comeback after their disallowed goal was also fun to watch. I'm excited for the Oilers and Ducks tonight. Thanks for the text, Michelle. I'm with you, I think, in Buffalo, only because it's been so long for the Sabres to get back into the playoffs and then to see the Sabres atmosphere inside and outside the building. So cool. So much fun, for sure. Top of the hour, we'll get to some more of your text at 833-401-1440. We'll also hear from Colton Doc in an interview I did with him, a one-on-one yesterday inside the Oilers locker room. Time now, though, for another edition of Cam and Eggs.
It's Monday morning, and the number 13 order of Cam and Eggs is boiling over. Grandma Anderson, bless her apron and hairnet. No, can't forget the hairnet now. Is here cooking eggs. And we are introducing the Sports 1440 resident poet Billy Shakes, who is going to give us a Shakespeare verse to set the mood of the day during the playoffs. So come on, Grandma, let's get cracking. Or with Anaheim in town, should that be quacking? First things first. Need to say congratulations to Kevin Karius. Ever heard of him? Who was part of a $650,000 night Friday with the toast of the town, raising money to beat cancer. I guess it was, maybe around midnight when Kevin got home. I know, I drove him home. And the Alberta Northern Lights won the Division I Wheelchair Basketball Championship yesterday with a 63-52 win over Variety Village from Toronto. Big game tonight to start the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Oilers taking on the Ducks. There was a different vibe Sunday when the Oilers got off the ice at 10:28 after going out around 10. I found them energized, confident, and having fun. They are indeed ready. He has arrived. Sir Billy Shakes, a Shakespeare historian who has a verse about going on a long, successful journey, something the Oilers hope to start tonight. Sir Billy?
From Henry V, Act 3. Scene 1. In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood. Disguise fair nature with hard-favored rage. Hark! Now thy Oilers! Hark!
And with help from TSN's Ryan Rishog. This from yesterday.
Cam came all the way down to ask you this today. He'd like to know if you have purchased your lucky tie yet and what you're thinking design-wise.
No, I don't have a lucky tie. I do have ties that have been discontinued. But if they haven't been discontinued, they're still in the rotation.
When you get one, I will tie you.
All right, I'll do that. Thanks, Cam.
Cam and Eggs, Karius, Douglas, Fenwick, Grandma Anderson, Billy Shakes. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
Yeah, so that was Cam yesterday. He was down at the rink and he had a good chuckle there with the head coach, Chris Knobloch. I was, when you get that, when Shakespeare was going there, Duke, it always reminds me of Chris Farley, Van Down. Is that Bill Shakespeare over there? Still the best episode ever. Van Down by the River. Was it David Spade and what was the girl from, Christina Applegate. They had their heads buried and they were turning their heads because they were laughing so hard. They couldn't stop laughing. And he just kept pouring it on and pouring it on, Chris Farley. So coming up at the top of the hour, a one-on-one that I had with Oilers forward Colton Doc. and how excited he is being a local guy going in to playing his first playoff game here, obviously with the Oilers. It's going to be a magical and an emotional and a fired up night for Colton Doc for sure. Also coming up 10:20, Kelly Buckberger, the former Edmonton Oiler. We're going to discuss, hey, we had a great night on Friday, as Cam mentioned, at the Toast of the Town, where $650,000 was raised. Bucky was part of the banter behind the ball cap, which was sort of a little bit of a round table and a hot stove, if you will. We'll talk about that and obviously the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day playoff edition for the Edmonton Oilers as they kick off their first round series hosting the Anaheim Ducks tonight at Rogers Place. Puck drop coming just after 8 o'clock. Pre-game coverage starting right here in Sports 1440 at 6. 3 other games. Game number 2s around the NHL. Flyers in Pittsburgh leading that series 1-0. Hurricanes hosting Ottawa, also up 1-0 in that series. And the Stars look to get one back against rival Minnesota Wild. Their trail that series 1-0. In the association playoff action there as well with the Raptors down 1-0 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 2 will tip off at 5 o'clock from Ohio. Knicks hosting Atlanta at MSG, and Minnesota is in Denver. And in the majors today, lighter schedule with some teams in transit. The Blue Jays open a set in Los Angeles. Check that, Anaheim against the Angels. First pitch coming just after 7:38. Dylan Cease will take the hill for Toronto. Elsewhere, Detroit's in Boston right now. Red Sox up 2-1. Still to come, Cleveland hosting Houston, Atlanta in Washington, Cubbies up against the Phillies, and Seattle hosting the Athletics. In case you missed it this morning, San Francisco 49ers and left tackle Trent Williams agreeing to a 2-year, $50 million extension. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll hear a one-on-one interview with Oilers forward Colton Doc, and be joined by former NHLer, former Oiler, Kelly Buckberger. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Divorce is never easy, but Fairway Divorce Solutions can help.
Their clear step-by-step process addressed all our issues, and we moved through the process quickly.
Fairway didn't take sides. They saved us money and heartache.
My ex, the kids, and I feel like we'll all be okay.
At Fairway Divorce Solutions, trained mediators and in-house lawyers will move your divorce process forward in a professional and efficient manner to achieve a fair resolution and separation agreement. Visit fairwaydivorce.com.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now. And a deal later. Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards free McDonald's. Now that's what I call a double whammy of deals. Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value for a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every Edmonton playoff game for the Legacy Heating and Cooling postgame show. Visit the experts at legacyheating.ca.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Busted.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
Welcome back to the big program, 10:01 in Edmonton. Game day for the Oilers as they get set to host the Anaheim Ducks tonight. Game number 1 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs here as the Oilers look to get off to a good start this season. They changed the makeup of their team at the trade deadline, bringing in some size. I mean, Connor Murphy's a big guy on the back end. Colton Doc, also a big guy up front, 6'4", 220-pounder. So it was Jason Dickinson in that trade with Colton Doc for Andrew Mangiapane and a conditional first-round pick in the 2027 NHL draft. I mean, Doc was a round 2 pick by the Chicago Blackhawks back in 2021. Had some good seasons in the Western Hockey League, starting in Saskatoon, then went off to Kelowna and had a really good year with the Rockets in 21-22, where he scored 29 goals, had 50 assists for 79 points, was traded to Seattle the following year, won a championship with the Seattle Thunderbirds, had a pretty good playoff, 19 games, had 14 points for Seattle in that playoff year. From there, off to Rockford and a little bit of time with Chicago the next season. Similar situation the following year in 2024-25, where he played both with Chicago and Rockford. Traded at the deadline this year. In Chicago, he had 53 games, had 9 points. So he was a slow year for Doc. And since he's come to Edmonton, he's been a pretty big part of the Oilers' fourth line. 2 goals, 2 assists in the 8 games played. Yesterday, following the Oilers' practice, I had a chance to sit down or stand up and talk to Colton Doc, and here's that interview. Well, Colt, how excited are you for game number 1 here?
Yeah, I know it's gonna be pretty cool. Obviously, maybe a little bit of nerves, but I think once you kind of hit the ice, it's gonna all just be excitement and adrenaline. So just go out there, and I think first shift's gonna be really important.
When you were growing up here, what do you remember about the atmosphere in Edmonton and playoff hockey in this city?
And these fans love their hockey; they're loyal to it. Good and bad, and I think this team's done a really good job the last couple of years now. And I think there's just one thing missing, and we just gotta go out there and battle and compete and do our best for it.
Did you go to any games when you were younger? When you were just living in town?
Yeah, we went to quite a few. My dad had season tickets for quite some time. We went to a couple playoff games as well, but we also were away playing hockey. So once that kind of time came, we weren't always here. So, but no, we definitely went to a few games growing up.
What did you think of the atmosphere? The playoffs. You've seen it. You know what it's like here.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think my sister's been to a few of the parties outside, the watch parties, and she said it's pretty hectic out there. So it's pretty crazy to kind of see some people just get behind a team like that.
What's this experience been like for you here, coming back after the trade and the injury, and now getting back and where you are in the sense of round number 1 here?
Yeah, it's definitely a whirlwind getting traded, coming in. You play 3 games, you get hurt. That sucks, but coming back from injury, I think the guys have done a really good job of making me feel comfortable, making me feel welcome on the ice, and in the locker room. I think it was nice that we could have some time on the road together as well, go for a team dinner or two, and just kind of get to know the guys a little bit more, get comfortable with them.
Go back to your upbringing here in Fort Sask and then to OHA and, that journey to get here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it takes a lot, but I think, every kid's dream, growing up when you lace up skates is to play in the National Hockey League and play in the Stanley Cup playoffs and win a Stanley Cup. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all worth it, and you do it 10 times over to be in the same situation.
Those OHA teams, you had some pretty good teams, didn't you?
Yeah, we had some good players, good teams, good coaching. So, I think those were some fun times. And, when I was 13, 14, and you look back at it now, and a lot of laughs, a lot of memories.
Who are some of the guys? I mean, I think Zellweger was on there. Who are some of the other guys that I think there's probably a half dozen guys that made it to the NHL?
Yeah, there's a few. Zellweger, Chagall, Kuhlmans. Trying to think who else we had. There's a few guys playing pro hockey as well. So I think we had a pretty good team. I mean, guys from this area tend to like play hockey. So usually you're going to find some really good players.
How much did that help and mold and shape you kind of on your journey to, progress to, where you are now?
I mean, it definitely going from minor hockey where you're practicing 2 or 3 times a week to going to a prep school or an academy where, you're on the ice, 6 out of 7 days. You're at the rink all the time. You're with your teammates, gets you prepared for junior hockey, gets you prepared for pro hockey as well. So that kind of aspect of it just helps a little bit.
So right now you and Freddie are kind of really developing a good chemistry with the two of you. Whoever is at center, it doesn't seem to matter. What is it about the two of you that you've developed this?
I think we kind of have the same goal, same path. We play the similar style games. I think chemistry off the ice definitely helps as well. I think we're pretty good buddies, so it's good to kind of chat a little bit off the ice and talk about what to do in certain situations on the ice. And I think he's a very smart hockey mind. Talking to him about some plays and things go on the ice, and we go and do it, and it works. So it's easy to go out there and trust them. So I think that's the biggest part.
Do you think you guys have similar games?
Yeah, I think we play similar style games. I think we're both bigger guys, heavy. Maybe not our quick starts aren't there, but we're pretty fast skaters when we get up to it, and we can win battles hard on sticks, make some good plays. He's got a really, really good shot. Just watching it out there at the end of practice, he can find corners. So I think if he gets an opportunity to shoot the puck, he's going to have a good chance of scoring. So it's going to be really fun to play with him.
What is it about on the forecheck? It's almost like first guy in, the puck's non-negotiable. It's the body first.
You always want to have a little sense of where the puck is, but you also got to in times like this, you got to wear defensemen down and be hard on them, be heavy on them. You got to make them not want to pick up the puck. Maybe you hit them 2 or 3 times, and the 4th time you go in there and they don't want to get the puck, and you go grab the puck and you have a chance to score. So those are probably the biggest times.
20 years ago, guy was wearing number 34, had one of the best playoffs ever, Fernando Pisani. I think you might have been 3 or 4 years old, but man, oh man, that was a hell of a run for a local guy like yourself. And I don't know, maybe there's some magic here too in that number.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I think my buddies would love that.
Just an overall thought of Anaheim and what kind of challenge they present to you guys in this opening series.
They're young, they're skilled, they're fast. They got some really good young players, good goal scorers as well. I think they can take opportunity when they need it, and I think that's gonna be the biggest thing is just limit their chances, play structurally really well, and like I said, be physical on them. I think it's gonna wear them down.
Have you felt things gelling here in the last little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of just getting to hang out with the guys a little bit more, and maybe just off the ice, you get to kind of communicate a little, hang out, have lunch or something like that. It just feels a lot better.
Thanks, Colt. Good luck in round 1.
Thank you.
Colton Doc yesterday following Oilers practice, and again that 4th line, and it really, you can talk about, some people are thinking like Szymanski should still be in, but I think it's okay to start this playoff series with Adam Henrique centering Colton Doc and Trent Frederick. Henrique has obviously more experience. he's a better penalty killer right now than Szymanski. Although I'll tell you what, Szymanski's getting to be pretty damn good, on the PK unit. But I think to start this series, I think to go with Henrique and Frederick and Doc, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Will there be a time where we see Szymanski? Wouldn't be surprised at all. Wouldn't be stunned, wouldn't be shocked. They're going to need some players here. You are never going to go on a deep run in the Stanley Cup playoffs with 12 guys and 6D. It just doesn't work. And especially with a guy like Dickinson coming back, and who knows at what level Leon will be at. But there are options, there are opportunities. The good thing is that it doesn't matter who's played between Doc and Frederick. Those two guys have been the two that are driving the line. So if you're going to, sometimes maybe you've thrown in a guy like Kapanen or put Coles in or whoever at certain times to play. But for the most part, it's been Henrique, it's been Szymanski. So again, Doc and Frederick, it doesn't matter to them. Those are the two guys that are initiating the forecheck. Those are the two guys that are getting in and banging the bodies around. So if we see a fourth line matchup between Henrique, Doc, and Szymanski, well, VL, Moore, and Washi they're a pretty big line too. I mean, Moore's a 6'3"er. VL's a 6-footer that's got some thickness to him. Washi's about the same size, I think, as Moore. So I want to just ask the Duke about what you think, Duke, if this fourth line matches up head to head. What do you think? And I mean, we're just assuming it's going to be Moore and VL, no?
So Moore is kind of the question mark here because, and we've talked about this throughout the year, he's a defenseman. And he's played a lot of forward this year, and Coach Quenneville seems really comfortable playing him there. Even when he has, he's playing forward over either Frank Vetrano, who's very, very experienced, led the team in goals during some of the really dire years here in seasons past. But the actual guy that could draw back in there, and he's just banged up, not sure if he's going to be ready for tonight, is Ross Johnston, who's actually the biggest, the fastest, the most physical player that they would have on their fourth line.
So
and he would
comes out then? Moore?
It would be Moore. I would think, because I would think they'd want the identity type line for a fourth line of VL, Washi, and Johnston. That would be my best indication based on what the practices were on Saturday before they'd left. It kind of was trending towards he's a game time decision for game one, and then ditto moving forward in the series in terms of when he's going to draw him. But until then, it's going to be Moore, who's not the most physical guy, but he is bigger. And then VL is kind of like the noisemaker as the physical presence on that unit.
But again, on a fourth line head-to-head matchup, what do you like about what the Oilers are going to bring here? And what do you think, what do you think that's going to look like?
Yeah, the physicality of what Frederick and Doc have shown down the stretch here, kind of since being united. And as you said, whether it was Szymanski, if it's going to be Henrique, which is a decision I'm kind of in agreement with you on, is the right way to start. And then if you need a change, you go to Szymanski. It poses as probably, in my opinion, advantage Oilers if they can imitate or duplicate what they've done here in the last couple weeks. If all of a sudden we see a regression and Trent Frederick is the player that we saw for the first 2/3 of the season, well, listen, we talked about that extensively. It's essentially a nothing burger. It's a non-factor. So Doc is kind of the pivotal piece of that line, in my opinion, because he is bigger. I think he's a better skater than what Frederick provides right now. And he seems a little bit since he got here, it didn't matter time, place, opponent. He had that mindset of trying to put a guy
time
through
on
the glass.
ice, right? Time on and that's what you're getting at with time.
Yeah.
If he plays 6 minutes, he's fine. He's still going to contribute.
Yeah, exactly.
And Chris Knoblauch has said that. You got to find, and I know people keep thinking about how they're going to roll four lines and roll. It doesn't work like that. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are going to get a lot of ice time. The third line is going to get a lot of ice time. Your fourth line is going to see 6 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
When
you have, and game script dictates it too. If you get up 8-0 as MTR predicted for a game one final score, then yeah, I think you would probably expect to see a little bit more of the fourth line guys as it progresses. But as long as the game is close-ish, even a couple goals one way or the other, obviously if they're down, but even if they get up a couple, you have the best player and maybe the second best player in the world.
Yeah.
Even like now Leon's health might dictate this a little bit, but McDavid is going to play, as you said, Kevin, probably 25 minutes at least.
So it's simple math. In a 60-minute game, if Connor plays 23 and Leon plays 20, you got, and this is Leon at the start of coming back from injury. So let's just say Leon, even knock Leon down a little bit. It leaves you 12 minutes for your third line, and it leaves you 7 minutes for your fourth line, and that's the way it is.
It's to me, Kevin. It's as simple as saying, like, if you own a sports car, you don't need to take it out all the time. But hey, it's springtime. You got to avoid some potholes, sure, around Edmonton, but you want to have it out. Yeah. You want to have it out, and you want to drive it. It's not just to sit in the garage and look pretty, and that's what the Oilers have in guys like McDavid and Draisaitl.
Precisely. When we come back, Kelly Buckberger, Edmonton Oiler, long-time Edmonton Oiler and National Hockey League, 1,000-game guy plus in the NHL. He was at the Toast of the Town on Friday. We had some good yucks, some good chucks. We'll talk to Bucky when we come back on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
You don't just need property services. You need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Greger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
I've got some good news. If you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck, the 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a sport performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the sweat box.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
It's the EV for City Wildlife, the all-new, all-electric 2026 Subaru Uncharted. Quick charging with get-up-and-go performance. And best of all, so much fun. So test drive the all-new, all-electric 2026 Uncharted today and discover why it's definitely the Subaru for you. The EV for City Wildlife. To learn more about this very exciting arrival and all things Subaru, start here. Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. Coming up to 10:20 in Edmonton. A quick little NFL note before we get to Kelly Buckberger. Brandon Aubrey and the Dallas Cowboys have reached an agreement. He's now the highest paid kicker in NFL history. A kicker. 4-year extension, $7 million per year, $20 million guaranteed. Yeah, wow. $20 million guaranteed for kicking the old football through the uprights. Time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, because your pipes take a beating on game day 2. Are you ready for overtime, even when your plumbing isn't? Well, Mr. Rooter is. Check him out at mrrooter.ca. As we welcome back Kelly Buckberger to the program. Good morning, Bucky. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. As always, big guy. Really appreciate it.
That sounds like your last contract.
Wouldn't that be something, huh? I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I know that.
Yes, that's true. You'd be somewhere in Mexico.
I would be that. No, I don't know. At this time of the year for the Stanley Cup playoffs, I don't know. But, man.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it?
It sure is. Before we talk hockey and stuff, didn't we have a wonderful night on Friday for the Toast of the Town?
It was unreal. All the people that came out and supported it, and how much money they raised. And you did a great job. Everybody was commenting how well you kept it rolling. And it was long, but it didn't seem that long.
Well, again, I think we talked about it off the top. I mean, the generosity for $650,000 to be raised. It was Terry O'Flynn being toasted. This is all for the CAR T-cell program and cancer research. But, I mean, you said it the best too, Bucky, I think, at the end when we were up there for the round table and the banter beyond the ball cap, just about how generous everyone is in the city. It's amazing.
Yeah, we seem to find a way to... when things are down, and pick everybody up and raise enough funds so we can get where we need to be. And I've been in a lot of things, and I thought that function on Friday night was unreal.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that joke that you told, did you practice a lot of that, or did that just roll off the tip of your tongue when you kind of toasted and roasted T.O. there?
I made it up.
Well, I wasn't sure where you were going with it, Bucky, because it kind of went on for quite a while.
I know, but I'm getting to be in your business where you talk too much and no one listens.
You got that right. How many people came up to you to congratulate you and Mac T, though, about the Western RV commercials?
I know. You know what? We're thinking about changing our career path. We're going to go in acting, but it's really bad acting. It seems like it works.
How did that come about for you guys? And then, like, when you shot these commercials, was it just, okay, roll tape, camera roll, and whatever happens?
Well, a buddy of ours, Bruce Urban, which owns Western RV, he asked us if we would do some stuff, but I didn't realize it only took 45 minutes to do 6 commercials.
And then also, you guys are at the Coyote Golf Course too now?
Yeah, we're going to go there. We're going to spend some time there with some of his clients, and I've never been out in that area, but we will get out there.
Yeah. Well, as Mac T says in the commercials, stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, like, you've been out of the game as a player for a while, but when the Cup playoffs roll around like this, do you still even get excited, just knowing what's going to be coming up here in the next little bit?
Well, as we all know, the first round is always the most exciting, but the first game is also, that first game is just, your nerves are going and everything. And you look at the games yesterday, and you look at the Montreal game, winning in overtime and a power play, and then Buffalo coming back and it was scoring, was it 3 goals in 7 minutes or something like that. And they're exciting to watch, and no different than tonight. I know it's an 8:20 puck drop, another late one for everybody, but it's going to be exciting to watch Oil, and hopefully Leon's back.
Mm-hmm. It looks like that's going to be the case. And also Jason Dickinson. I was at practice yesterday, Bucky, and to be honest, if you would have said both guys, okay, Leon's been off for 5 weeks and Dickinson's been off for for, whatever, a week to 10 days, whatever it's been, you'd go, there's no way. Do you think that's just because they're so fired up that the playoffs are coming and then you can maybe block some stuff out?
I think you hit it right there. When you're playing in playoffs, even injuries, everybody's hurt throughout the playoffs and they play through injuries. And it seems like Leon's always that guy in the last few years. But with Dickinson, it's a big part of their defending part on face-offs. He's a big part. And obviously, Leon, we know what he brings. He's brought it every year. And those are two key pieces that come back in the playoffs and makes the Oilers a better team.
Yeah. Do you remember your first playoff games when you got called up there in 87?
Oh, I remember him like nothing. It's such a highlight for anybody to play in the playoffs, but to be able to play your first game ever in the playoffs, it means that much more. But when you're playing in the playoffs, every shift counts. There's no question, and you got to be ready. You got to be focused, and the best teams, the players in their role, they have to play it the best they can.
What do you remember about that year? Because you were in Nova Scotia, obviously, with the farm team all season, and then you played in the playoffs. Was it as soon as you guys were eliminated when you got the call up?
Yeah, I think we got eliminated in the first round to Sherbrooke, if I'm not mistaken. And then Black Aces, they called up. I think probably 5 of us went up there, and none of us really played throughout the whole playoffs. And then we had played Philadelphia in the final, and they had a really tough team, and the Oilers wanted a little more toughness, and I got the dress for 3 games, and it was actually unreal that it happened. Especially, we had a pretty good year in the minors, our team, but I think coming in there in Black Ace, he never really had a chance, but you never know with Glenn Sather what he brings out of his hat.
Yeah, and you got in a scrap too in that final.
Yeah, with a fellow Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Dave Brown.
How was that?
Well, we're not going to go watch it anymore.
Well, but Bucky, he was like one of the toughest guys in the league.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And he was lefty, right? He was a lefty?
Yep, he was.
And you knew that going in, right? And
yeah, and I actually used to watch him when he played for the Yorkton Terriers. Because that's really close to my hometown, and we'd go watch junior hockey. And him and Joey Kosher, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you probably know better than me, that I think Joey Kosher played on that team too with the Terriers.
Yeah, they were just killers. I mean, they had between those two guys, then they had a bunch of great scorers like Spile and all that, right? Remember? Daryl Spile.
And your brother was the one that when Melville had to put up with them. I think that's. He would have been at that age where he just coming in the league probably when they were leaving.
Yeah, exactly. That's in the early 80s, in 81, 82, kind of 1980 for sure. Kelly Buckberger with us here on Sports 1440. We're going to talk about that 97 game where you were the hero, scored the overtime winner against Dallas for a little bit here. What do you remember about that game in the sense that a lot of people, and we discussed it earlier on the show here, Bucky, so many people, Oiler fans, left the game because it was pretty well all but over.
Well, I think that year, you look at our team, we were really young and just scraped our way into the playoffs, and no one really gave us much hope against Dallas. And but one thing we did, we worked hard, we played physical, and we loved our coaches. It was Ronnie Lowe at the time, and we played so hard for him. And that game probably switched the way the series went because obviously we won and we moved on. But when you come back and score 3 goals in a minute, and what was it, minute 45 or something like that, and then winning in overtime, it really deflates the other team. And obviously it picked us up a lot, and we knew that we could beat them. And obviously we won the series.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a series, and there's so much emotion. What did Ronnie Lowe say something to the effect, I want to have 100 hits a game?
I think in that series, if we were averaging like a little over 90 hits a game, and that was everybody. Like you look at like Dougie Wade and Jason Arnott, all those guys, they were finishing their checks. Ryan Smith, not everybody was on board, and what we want to do is play physical and hard and wear them down, and you don't see that too much anymore. But I think we were averaging over 90 hits a game.
Yeah. So in comparison, like everyone was talking about how physical the Utah Vegas game 1 was last night. I'm not sure if you saw it, but Vegas had, I think, 50 hits in the game. So we're talking almost double about how physical it was. Maybe just touch on that aspect of the playoff hockey, which right now what we see, it's physical, but it's not like it used to be.
Well, yeah, yes and no. And I watched a lot of the games last night. And if you go back to Vegas, I just want to speak about Torts. To win it isn't rocket science. It's about having those players on the same page all the time and playing hard. And you seem like every team that he has, they play hard. And you look at that team in Tampa, how hard they played and how physical they block shots. Like physicality can go so many different ways, like blocking shots, sacrificing yourselves, and paying the price. But he's also got those guys playing physical. And if you get everybody on board, it feeds down the lineup.
In that 97 series and playoffs, were you with the same guys on the same line for the most part, or did you move around a bit, Bucky?
I think on that one, I was with Jason Arnott and Ryan Smith.
Okay.
I think, and then in overtime, I think I was with Mats Lindgren or Mats. Yeah.
Mats Lindgren. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and Guersey, I think it was, but it was, hey, those are long years, and we're excited to watch the Oilers here now. They got a good young team, and a lot of different parts from last year. And I don't know what the rollover is. Do you know what the rollover is from last year to this year?
Well, it's similar, but like when you think about say guys like Corey Perry and Dustin Brown, and there's 3 or 4 forwards, but they brought in some different components that might be a little bit bigger and heavier. And I think you've noticed that with guys like Doc, and even on the back end with Murphy being a little bit bigger. Have you noticed that the Oilers can play a little more physical style this year down the stretch, and what we probably will see in the playoffs as opposed to last year, Bucky?
I think so. I think, listen, they know, and it always hurts to lose, especially in the Stanley Cup final, and it hurts the fans also, and that you lose. But I know that they're trying to build a team where they can go a long way. They have every piece that you can think of. You can play physical, you can score. And, their special teams have been unreal. And so if they can figure it out right away, obviously the first round is the hardest round to get by. And then but it's still a grind every time you go into each round. But I think they got the right pieces for a long run, and we'll see what happens at the end.
Yeah, so that fourth line that they're going to implement with Colton Doc and Trent Frederick, and it's going to be Adam Henrique likely starting, I would imagine, if everyone's healthy and good to go tonight. What do you like about the makeup of that line and how big and heavy it is?
Well, you need physicality. There's no question about that. And we just got to make sure that we play a disciplined game. You don't want to be in the box. You look at Montreal, what did they score? 3 power play goals last night against Boston. Tampa, right?
Yep.
So you got to be disciplined, but you got to be physical in the same part. So charging, you got to make sure that you're not hitting anybody from behind, but you're making sure that you're playing a physical way, the right way.
Kelly Buckberger with us on the Kevin Karius Show here in Sports 1440. When you look at the Oilers' penalty kill unit, what are you seeing, and what does it need to do to be successful in this series to kill off the Anaheim power play?
Well, Anaheim, they've really come a long way, but they paid the price through the last 3 years of keeping their young players gelling together, and they're fast. They can skate and make things happen. But as we all know, your goalie has to be your best penalty killer. He's got to be able to read the play. He's got to obviously pay attention in the meetings because, if the shot comes from the right side, the majority of them are going to come. But at the end, that PK, it becomes chaos in that blue paint. And you got to make sure you're big and strong, you're protecting sticks, and don't give them any second chances. And I think they got the right makeup on their D guys. They got to sacrifice themselves. They got block shots. Got to get in those lanes. You can't get small. And the forwards, if we can get some down ice pressure and get on them right away, and obviously all the work comes in zone. But I think they have the right people in the right place.
What have you seen from Connor Murphy since his arrival, and what has he done to bring out a little better and maybe some of the best we've seen of Darnell Nurse, Bucky, in a while?
Well, with Connor, we have actually, when I played in Atlanta, his dad was in Atlanta with me. And so our kids grew up together, and that was Connor. And then it's nice, obviously it's been a long time since we had seen him, but it's nice to see him having a long NHL career and the way he plays, how honest of a player he is, how he battles. And saying that, he's brought everybody into the fight. And it seems like him and Darnell have some chemistry together, and they're feeding off it, and they make a really good pair.
Kelly Buckberger with us here on Sports 1440. If there's a player or two on this Oilers roster that you think might have a surprise series or someone that's going to go pot a few goals, be a big part, that's not the obvious choice like a Connor or a Leon, who would it be in your mind?
I think right now it's Savoy. I think we all probably think that he seemed to get a lot of confidence ever since Christmas break or the Olympic break. And, he's earned it, though. He goes to the net, he drives, he's on the PK, he's very responsible. And listen, he's playing with passion right now. And when you play with passion, you get a lot in reward. And I think he's one of those guys that in the playoffs, he's going to be very valuable. I don't know where he's going to play, but I really like to watch him play, especially he's a local kid and making local kids look good.
Yeah, for sure. And he'll start the series off with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman on the top line. He was so good in that last game where he scored the hat trick. What have you liked about Vasily Podkolzin in his game this year, Bucky?
I think it's a steal for us, how we got him from Vancouver and the way he battles and plays. And, he's not the fastest player, but with his heart and his passion for the game, it gets him there. And he gets those boots moving, and he's not scared to go in that blue paint and play a greasy game in that area. And you watch how he plays, and he plays every shift like it's going to be his last shift. He doesn't take a shift off or any minute. I'm sure in practice, he's probably the hardest working guy in practice. Yeah. I've never been to their practices, but he seems like to be that guy. And people feed from that. And, he got rewarded, I think, was it last game or 2 games ago, he got to play with Connor. And just because of the way he plays, and he drives to the net, he's heavy on his stick, and he's a heavy player. Like, he takes the body when he needs to. He's not a dirty player by no means, but he plays a really heavy game on both ways, his stick and body.
Yeah. Hey, Bucky, I know a lot of the alumni guys are down, in Ice District doing stuff before the game. Are you doing that tonight and autographs and all that?
No, I'm going to the game as a fan, and they give me tickets, so I'm going to take my son Keaton, and we're just going to be a fan tonight and enjoy the game.
Good stuff, Bucky. And again, thanks for being a part of a Toast to the Town on Friday and being part of a great fundraiser, and obviously being a big kind of fan now of this team. Hopefully they can go on a good run here again. As always, thanks for coming on. We'll probably see you down at the rink at some point.
All right, Kev. Thanks for having me. And again, thanks for Friday. You were awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bucky. That's Kelly Buckberger, longtime Edmonton Oiler. I mean, amazing career in the National Hockey League in the sense where, he played 1,182 games. 1,182. This is a guy that was drafted in the 9th round back in 1985. Heart, guts, played in Moose Jaw for a couple of years, had a whole boatload of penalties, and then to play in Nova Scotia, get called up and play 3 games in the finals against Philadelphia, and to tackle a guy like Dave Brown, who, if you haven't seen Dave Brown fight, he was one of the best ever. A big lefty, lethal killer. You've probably seen the Brown Jim Kite fight. It is savage. And for Bucky to come in as a young guy that's 21 years old or whatever he was that year, and to tackle Dave Brown, that is guts, courage, heart. Absolutely amazing. Headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, knocking your plumbing problems out of the park. That's mrrooter.ca. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Mr. Rooter sees a UFO.
Mr. Rooter says 1 plunge, 2. What's this? A UFO? An unidentified floating object. It's beginning to glow and levitate.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. You have freed us from the gravity of the white hole. Humanity will be spared.
Wow! People aren't going to believe this when I put it in our new commercial.
If you want to believe in a plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the VLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Good to go. Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly. Guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, good to go.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value for a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every Edmonton playoff game for the Legacy Heating and Cooling postgame show. Visit the experts at legacyheating.ca.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. From the big mall in the west to the Arena District downtown, Edmonton is beautiful. But when I see your lawns, I know one thing's for certain. Weeds are coming. Be proactive and take advantage of our early bird savings until April 30th.
Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. And they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
This May, look for your census letter in the mail. The information you provide helps plan services in your community that support employment, transit, education, healthcare, and more. It's easy to fill out and completely confidential. Find out more at census.gc.ca. Your census, your community, our future. A message from the Government of Canada.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:43 in Edmonton. Oilers took to the ice for a very, very optional skate this morning. Several hockey insiders like Speck down there. Chris Knobloch just addressed the media. You'll have to wait until tonight, Knobloch says, to find out about Leon Draisaitl and Dickinson. Well, after being at practice yesterday, I was told that Leon's playing for sure. So we will check on Dickinson. To me, Dickinson was more of a question mark than Leon, but Dickinson looked just fine at practice yesterday. So I would be stunned to see if one of them is not in the lineup tonight. But I think both will be for sure. Connor Ingram will make the start tonight. Well, Duke, are you fired up for this?
Let's get fired up.
Hey?
Why not? It's the playoffs, Kev.
The playoffs?
Playoffs? You're talking about playoffs? Oh, we can win a game. Playoffs? Yeah, it should be fun.
You like
I'm really
your Ducks chances.
I'm really
eh?
looking forward to the next week plus of, regardless of result, having to field the wrath of a text line. If the Ducks win a game, it's because they cheated and the refs are on their side. If the Ducks lose a game, then everyone will text and tell me how stupid I am and that the Oilers are trash and they don't belong in the same league and that Anaheim doesn't have any real hockey fans and on and on. So I'm ready for it either way it shakes out. And
I think you should go to a game.
I'm hope.
No, at the pond. Get
Kev?
down, slide
Kev?
down. What?
Thought about it.
Have you?
Let's do
Like
a little
Friday?
Let's do a little pricing. Let's do a little pricing out and see what a quick little overnight back and forth to LAX.
See, the thing is, LAX it's a dirty trip out there from LAX to Anaheim.
not nice. I've
What's
never
the
been.
other airport down there, John Wayne. I think it's
John Wayne. No, I think that's in Texas.
No, I'm pretty sure. I think it's the John Wayne Airport near.
There's more than one John Wayne Airport.
I don't know.
Oh, John
Am I
Wayne
correct?
Airport, Santa Ana.
There you go, Duke. See,
This guy knows stuff. Well, you've been there, Kev. I never have.
Yeah, I can't. We would have flown into there.
So now, what's the actual likeliness of that happening? Very slim. But who knows? Maybe something will spur and hit me between now and 8 o'clock tonight that even I make my way down to Rogers this evening. I'll look for you up in the press box. I'll be sitting at the same
So
height.
you think you could slide in? You're
Well,
gonna
there's
find a
there's-
table. Well, what
there's
about
tickets available.
Cebolia?
The
Or
big
no, been watching this Detroit-Boston game because it's Patriots Day in Boston, so the Red Sox are taking on the Tigers. It's just been a total pig fest for me and our Edmonton, or pardon me, it's the SFBL one draft because I had both starters going, Sonny Gray and Flaherty, and both of them were pigs. Gray left. I don't know, something happened to his hamstring. Flaherty had 6 walks. The absolute debacle for Whip, Duke. Only one Ernie because it was an error, but just a total mess. You hate it when pitchers go head to head. Anyway, I had to get that off my chest, Duke, because I just couldn't stand
I'm
it.
glad that the rest of the listeners get to experience what Josh and I have been experiencing for the last hour and 45 minutes about you just berating the television about this morning baseball
I
game.
mean, usually this game is very low scoring because it's like 11 o'clock there to start. But anyway, bigger fish to fry out here with game number 1 of the Oilers and Ducks. A lot of people texting in, Duke. Duke, we love you, man, from Jordy, but the Ducks, come on. Come on.
Like, just because they meet in the playoffs, you want me to abandon my entire childhood's fandom?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Team Dean says it's 15 minutes away from the Honda Center. Yeah. That's
Well, that
John
seems
Wayne.
like the one to fly into then.
Yeah, well, it is. Also, Team Dean asked me about the officiating. Who's the officials tonight? I had no clue, but he sniffed it out. It's going to be Kelly Sutherland and Garrett Rank. I don't know if a guy likes that. Ant-Man says, everyone gives you a hard time for liking the Ducks, Duke, but I've never met a Ducks fan before. You're like a rare Pokemon. I respect it greatly.
Thank you.
Jane Victoria. Duke, I wish you the best of luck. The team is young and going to be good for a long time. Definitely go to a game. It's your chance for Disney as well, which I know you would love to go.
Yeah. No, if I were to do
If you're
if I were to make if I was doing the SoCal thing, it would be in and out.
No. If you're there, Duke, you're going to the game and you're
by
going
myself. Go to the game by myself. Go to Disneyland by myself.
You know, it's too bad. Think about this. Let's just say, Duke,
If there was a world where this would happen, I'd be trying to convince the con man to go with me.
Well,
He's the SoCal expert. He'd know all the ins and outs.
Well, how about this? Like, there was a chance here that the Oilers would have started on the road here in Anaheim, right?
Right.
Jays, Angels, Duke.
Well, that's so.
Right.
My very close personal friend who got married last August, that I was the best man for, his parents, international auctioneer champion Chance Martin and his great wife Trina, they own TSI, Thorsby Stockyards. They are going to Anaheim for games 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going down early enough to have to try and catch the last Jays Angels game.
Oh,
and then games 3 and 4, and they're going to Dodgers game, and they're there too. Can't remember exactly, but either way, they're doing the whole wheel deal. They also went to Florida each of the past 2 Junes as well for the finals. So,
Team Dean says, "Oh no, the officials were my worst case guesses." So, I don't know who the officials are tonight. Bonacord Greg says it's okay to be a Ducks fan.
Oh wow, thanks. I'm glad I have your consent.
My daughter loves the Ducks too, and that's how Duke got his
really
love of the Ducks from the Anaheim Mighty Ducks movie.
Wrong.
The Mighty Ducks.
Not even
Anaheim.
a little bit.
Yes, Duke. Don't just say the truth.
I've told the truth.
BC
It
Oiler
has nothing to
texts
do
in.
with the films.
BC Oiler texts in. Bucky, my favorite Oiler of all time, the heart of a lion. You got that right. What do you got for a prediction score tonight, Duke?
Oh, damn, Kev. You took words right out of my mouth. I was
you were
just
gonna-
about to ask you the exact same thing
Really?
verbatim. So I will. I'll take the Ducks to take game 1.
Okay.
Game 1. That's
overtime.
No, could be overtime, but
Empty
I'm
net goal?
gonna go with no. Yeah, I'm gonna say 5-3.
Duke says Anaheim.
Gotta win it in a
five,
gotta win it in a track meet.
3.
5-3. Ducks win.
I'll
Beckett
say
Seneca with a goal.
I'll say 4-2 Oilers. ENG. Empty netter.
Did you say 4-2?
4-2, yeah.
4-2.
Penny,
You got a goal
you gonna
score?
go- the game winner you want? Is that
Oh,
what you
just
want?
it's anytime goal scorer.
Anytime goal scorer will be Leon Draisaitl.
I can't wait till he doesn't play.
No, he's playing.
And then you're left
I've
looking.
already
like a
got
dummy.
it confirmed, Duke.
I'm gonna say 5-4 Ducks because they get the empty netter, but then much like last night in the Boston game, someone comes down and scores.
So 2 out of 3 guys in studio are picking the Ducks to win.
Cutter Gauthier to
Yeah, but
with the game winner.
Keep in mind that I have bias. Been a Ducks fan my entire hockey life. Josh, known Oilers hater.
Whoa.
As a Flames
fan.
Yeah, those are synonymous. Those are the same thing. I'm as a Ducks fan, I'm not automatically an Oilers hater. Josh is as a Flames fan.
How about
I'm just going with my heart. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Thank you.
Tater Tot texts in. Boys, I moved to the Anaheim area this year from Edmonton. Unfortunately, I have to go to Maui for the first round. Was hoping to get some games in here.
Oh, wow. Sorry you have to go to Maui.
Yeah, I was going to cancel. He says, but my wife was going to kill me. His wife would kill me.
I would say so.
Team Dean says Josh is from Calgary, so he doesn't know much about hockey, correct?
Well, he doesn't know much
True.
about spring hockey, playoff hockey.
Man, it's been a while, eh, Joshy boy? Been a while, eh? Maybe next year. No.
It's only been, what is this now, 4 years?
Since you won a playoff round?
Yeah, that would be 2022 when they beat the Stars in 7.
Yeah,
Shout out Johnny Hockey.
I remember. It was a great series.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, because it was the Oilers in...
Oilers won in 5.
Yeah.
I remember that. I had garbage thrown at me every game.
You know, I wish, because I was on the catwalk when McDavid scored in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have had my phone out, and I think the Oilers staff would have been okay with it. But the Oiler, we're talking from Kenny Holland to Bill Scott, several scouts were up there and just jumping up and down and hugging each other when the goal went in. If I would have had that on video, I would have, give it to the Oilers. They would have put it on their site. And it was an amazing, because I watched it for 15 seconds and I'm like, why weren't you, It's sort of private, but it's not. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, just don't forget the Oilers missed the playoffs for like 10 straight years. So I'm not sniffing that yet.
Sniffing it. Oh, wow. What a show. And it's going to be great to watch game number 1 tonight. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Roshep T-Bird,
Connor Helly and the Duke of Delburne. At 12 o'clock, it's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. Jason Greger drives us home from 2 till 6. Hey, then it's the pregame show from 6 till 8-ish with Andrew Walker, Donnie P., and Landon Ferraro. Puck drop, I'm saying, will be 8:20 tonight. The postgame show to follow. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock to bust down game 1. Before all of that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Hey, thanks everyone for listening this morning. Thanks for all the great texts and the interaction. We could not do it without you. Hope you have a marvelous rest of your Monday. Again, we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Good luck to the Oilers tonight. Until then, here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game day for the Edmonton Oilers playoff edition as they kick off their first round series hosting the Anaheim Ducks tonight at Rogers Place. Connor Ingram expected to start in goal. Leon Draisaitl, Jason Dickinson, both game time decisions for the Oilers. Puck drop just after 8. Pregame coverage starting right here on Sports 1440 at 6. 3 other games in the NHL playoffs. They're all game 2s. Pittsburgh hosting Philly. Flyers up in that series 1-0. Senators trail the Hurricanes 1-0. That one getting underway at 5:30. And the Wild taking on the Stars from Texas. Minnesota up 1-0. In the association playoffs continuing, Raptors back at it against Cleveland, down 1-0 in the best of 7. Tip-off at 5 o'clock from Ohio. Atlanta takes on the Knicks from MSG, trailing them 1-0. And Denver up against Minnesota. Nuggets lead that series 1-0. In the majors today, lighter slate with some teams in transit. With the Blue Jays kickoff a set in SoCal against the Angels. First pitch just after 7:38. Dylan Cease on the bump there. One game already underway. Tigers and Red Sox already at it. It's a Patriots Day south of the border, Elsewhere at Cincy in Tampa. Atlanta up against Washington. KC hosts Baltimore. Phillies at Wrigley against the Cubs. Dodgers playing Colorado, and Seattle hosting the Athletics in the nightcap. Some NFL news ahead of the draft coming up later this week. Dallas Cowboys making a bet. Brandon Aubrey, the highest paid kicker in NFL history. 4-year extension, $7 million per year, with $20 million of which fully guaranteed. And the San Francisco 49ers veteran left tackle Trent Williams agreeing to a 2-year, $50 million extension. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and